DJ, how's the reception? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Mic check 1 2. Newstoter. Share the room out. Share the room out.
What's up? What's up? For my people over there on YouTube, guys, Friday nights broadcast, definitely go ahead, click that notification bell as you guys come in. Click that notification bell, like tonight's broadcast, leave a comment. Definitely go ahead and share it. If you have not subscribed to the channel, definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well too. We found a very interesting video today on one of the TikTok people had a video, and one of our people here on Twitter DM me, or X, whatever you want to call it, DM me and talked about potentially holding a space on this topic. And, you know, I'm hearing this lady talk about all this stuff about Black people and quote unquote the Aboriginals coming over to these reservations and basically causing hell on it. And I said, wow, that's some serious stuff right there. I've never heard allegations. I've never heard anybody say that Black people were coming onto reservations. And, you know, and in the video, she lets you know that she has an issue too with this whole this whole movement, this whole Aboriginal type Black Aboriginal thing as well too. So she's claiming verbal abuse. She's claiming that kids and women are being kidnapped and everything else as well too. She's talking about going and forming some kind of international complaint against white supremacy and Black supremacy as well too. So a whole lot of stuff this woman is talking about that. Hey, I'm like, what in the world are we talking about? Like I've never even heard this. So I felt this would be a good space to have tonight. And like I say, I'm glad that everybody's coming up in here as well too. I see Stephanie just landed up in here too as well. So shout out. DJ, I sent you that video too, because I want you to play that video. I want people to hear it. I know we don't have a whole bunch of people up in the space right now, but I do want people to actually hear that. Just and I'm sure a lot of you guys have already, if you're on Twitter, you've already heard that actual video as well too. And like everybody's shaking their head like, what in the hell is this woman talking about here? So I definitely you get a chance, DJ, I want you to go ahead and play that video so you know the people can hear it.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'm headed to the studio. 2 seconds.
No problem. And yeah, man, I can read. I took a little bit of notes I took when I heard she said those so-called Black Aboriginals pushing erasure on Native Americans, claiming they are the originals, have been going on Native land and reservations and assaulting verbally and pushing aggressiveness in reservations, an international violation on human rights. We have now sent in our information and videos and abuse and insensitive tactics they have used. Along with white supremacy, we have included Black supremacy. They are committing human rights violations. Now that the women and children are coming up missing, these individuals are showing up on reservations with weapons and committing violent crimes, verbal abuse. Anybody caught doing what they are doing will be also included in this. And so everybody said, okay, you talking all of this stuff here. You talking about your women and your children coming up missing. You're talking about they're basically they're trespassing on property they have no business doing. You're doing all of this. You're saying you're going to include this in these international complaints and all this other stuff. You're saying you got the videos, and why aren't you posting it? If you got all these videos, you got all this information, you got all of this proof, then share it with everybody. Let us see it. Let us see all of these Black people coming out here on these Indian reservations and committing crimes and doing this and doing that as well too. So she's got all of these talking points. She's talking all about what Black people are doing. And like I say, I think this it struck a nerve. I think it struck a nerve that you have a number of Black people who claim their Aboriginal roots. And I think that's striking a nerve right there as well too, because for as long as we can remember in our whole life, as long as we always heard that everybody on this continent was pretty much a immigrant, including Black people. They say, Black people, y'all were immigrants by way of slavery. You have forced migration, but you're still immigrants. That the only actual true residents of this continent, this hemisphere, are actually Native Americans, and everybody else is pretty much visitors. Now you have, for the past few years, you have Black people saying, hey, you know what? We were here. Maybe even before you guys were. We were here, some of the first people here. We were here right along the whole time as well, too. So, what's going on? And I think that may have struck a nerve. I think that may have struck a nerve with a lot of Native Americans in this country, saying, "Hey, we feel like you guys are trying to steal our heritage, trying to steal our identity." And I think that's creating with some people, not all, but with certain Native Americans, I think that's really creating some hard feelings right there. They feel like, hey, these black people are trying to go ahead and placate our identity. That's why I think you have a number of black people say, we're not saying that we're Native Americans, we're saying that we're Aboriginals. So I think in that situation, you got a lot of hard feelings coming on. Like I say, this woman, she's got all this proof about what black people are doing. I find it hard to believe that black people are going to these reservations and doing all of this stuff, and you got all of this proof out there, but yet you're not posting it. You're talking about what you're going to do. And now you're sitting up here talking about you're going to include black supremacy along with white supremacy and make an international claim. Like, are you serious here? Are you serious? Are you serious? Out of all of the years that you could have went ahead and made a claim against white supremacy, now you're talking about including black supremacy with white supremacy? You're saying that black people have been just as much the enemy to you as white people? The average black person, only time they go on any of these reservations is to go to the casino. The only time I've ever been on a reservation was when I was on a casino. I've never walked around a reservation. I know some people used to go there and buy cigarettes and stuff like that. I don't know anything about a reservation except what to go ahead. And this was years ago, and I haven't been on a reservation in 20 years. So the only thing I know about a reservation is what to go at and what to gamble at. That's it. I don't know anything about no reservation like that. So this is very interesting to say the least, guys. So we got a couple speakers up here. So I'll go ahead and let you guys speak. Ricky, Chucky, if you guys raise your hand, we'll let you speak.
Yes, sir. No, yes, sir.
Okay, Ricky, did you want to say something?
What's going on, Newstoter? Yeah, you put out some great work. Just to chime in on this situation. Now, I did see the video that you posted. I'm calling BS on it. I don't believe black Americans, we black people here, we don't go to no damn reservations and rough nobody up or do no bullshit like that. This is an absolute lie and an absolute sham. Now, to my pretendians out there, I believe there were black people here and stuff, but the stuff I'm hearing, I think that it's crazy. People have went way too far with it, claiming heritage and claiming existences that they don't have. Were there black people here? Absolutely. And are those black people us? A lot of them were. But we went too far with that. But this story, I think it's up beyond. Maybe it's like some kind of FBI psyop to get us going against the Native Americans. Because that thing with that damn woman with the thing in her lip, that woman's full of shit. And that's all I want to say real quick.
All right. Appreciate it, everybody. Be careful of our language tonight as well, too. But appreciate you, Ricky. Thank you. Chucky.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Chucky, go ahead and unmute your mic.
That's typical. I have Native American friends. They said, black people come to the ceremonies and come to the reservations trying to say, oh, they're the real Indians and stuff. And they try to hold people hostage and stuff. I've heard crazy stuff for a couple years now. There was no black people here before Columbus. You came with the white man. All the ancient skeletons are genetically matched with Native Americans, the other people on the reservations. The crackhead, meth out Native Americans I see in Arizona, they're the ancient people of the Americas.
Okay, Chucky. Well, we respect your opinion. I may not fully agree with it because you did have when you had explorers come over here and their logs and stuff like that, they spoke of a black presence here. So I don't particularly agree with what you're saying. And also, I'll say this part right here. Everybody talks about the out of African theory that took place as well, too. So I'll say this right here. If out of Africa you had this migration over 100-some thousand years and you had all these people leave Africa and go all throughout the world and settle and everything else, like we hear about this ice age and we hear about everybody turning yellow, red, green, blue, orange, and every other color under the sun. But my thing is, if you had that number of people leaving, you also and changing colors, you also had a large number of people actually keeping their actual original shade and color as well too. So respect to you on your.
You're going off skin color. That's a white man's construct. Skin color.
Well, everything is a construct of a man.
Yeah, but
whether it's a tribe, it's a country, it's a continent, it's a city, it's a village, it's a kingdom. Okay.
Africa. Yes, humans became humans in Africa, and then spread to the rest of Africa. Then went to Europe and Asia, but then those Asians went to America and populated America. The Native Americans, they came from Siberia, but the oldest skeleton ever found is only like 20,000 years old. So it's genetically matched with Native Americans. All the ancient skeletons, all the oldest skeletons in the Americas are genetically matched with Native Americans, with Mexicans and all that stuff, Peruvians, whatever.
Well, if you have the information and you want to post it in the jumbotron, feel free to post it. Like I say, we don't totally know. Like I say, all I know is that from what you had European explorers who weren't the actual biggest supporters of Black people, they noticed that you had an actual Black presence over here as well too. Now, when did these Black people come? I could not tell you, but
where's the Negro skeleton? Where's all the Negro skeletons then? I'll show you the skeleton, all the ancient skeletons, all the reconstructions of the ancient skeletons found. Here, I'm going to post it in the Jumbotron. These are all, and none of them are Black people. They're all Mongoloid Native American.
So, Chucky, what are you saying, that Black people went all throughout the world, but they didn't come to North America, South America?
They didn't really go all through. I'm a Black African myself.
So where did they go? They just stayed in Africa?
There was Africans in ancient Rome and stuff. There was Africans in
but I'm saying throughout the course of 100-year migration that they're talking about, when these Africans, huh?
No, we didn't even reach Cape Verde. No.
Okay, sure. If you say so. Hey, okay. I got what you're saying, Chucky. What you're saying to me doesn't make any sense. You're saying that they didn't reach Cape Verde. You're saying, but like I said, over 100,000 years that these people went all throughout the world, and you had all of these all of these people went and everything else. But you're saying that we didn't
master fucking ship travel.
Okay, don't curse. Don't curse. Don't curse. Okay.
The Vikings and Europeans.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So basically, Black people were just a bunch of kids and they couldn't do anything.
No, we mastered like steel melting. We mastered a lot of stuff, but just like we didn't master boat travel like that.
Well, you had Black people had boats over there in Africa.
Yeah. Like the oldest boat, like they found us in Nigeria. I'm Nigerian myself.
Yeah.
It's like a rowboat, but like we didn't travel the Atlantic. The Atlantic's too rough. Like, but like it took a while to actually develop and do that.
Okay, right. So you had Black people going up and down the Nile River and everything else as well too in boats.
Christopher Columbus, when he first came to America, he did have Black people with him.
He had navigators.
Yeah, he was trying to get to Asia. He didn't know he was in America.
But he had navigators. So apparently these
he was trying to get to Asia.
Yeah, but whether he's trying to get to Asia, whatever, he had navigators, and these Black people must have knew something about navigation.
There's no proof that anybody came to the Americas before 1492. Well, the Vikings, that's it. Well, they came.
Okay. Well, there's no proof that they didn't either. So until we can get that proof.
They wrote in their history. They called the Native American. They called Skraelings, and then
well, we do, like I say, you do have explorers that said that they saw Black people that look like Ethiopians over here.
Oh no! So I read that. That's from Giovanni Di Verrazzano. He said they came. There's some were light skinned, some were dark skinned, but he was saying that they look like Asians, part of the Sumerians.
No, I didn't hear. No. From what I read, there were people that said that they actually they hold on, Chucky. Hold on. Don't overtalk the host now. I don't know if you're coming to hit a troll or whatever, but don't overtalk the host now. We get your point that you're saying that Black people basically couldn't do anything and had to stay in one location or whatever. We get that, but don't overtalk me. I know you're trying to make your point or whatever, but yeah. Nonetheless, we're gonna move on though, and let me go ahead and get to Trouble. She's got her hand up. Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic.
No, you let me finish what I had to say.
Well, no, you finish. We'll come back to you. You finish right now. Go ahead, Trouble.
Hey, Newstoter, shout out to you. Shout out to the Black family in the room. And I don't know what this Chucky person is on with his newly created account in February of 2024. You just come up in the cut to troll, and we really not on that type of time. And bruh, you white supremacists that love to claim you
I'm not white supremacist.
Blah blah blah.
Hey, your mic, Chucky.
As if saying you're Nigerian adds some extra validity to the BS claims that we have overwhelmingly shot down 1 million times.
No, you haven't.
Yes, actually we have.
No, you haven't. It's not been proven.
Hey, Chucky, I'm going to tell you once again to stay on your mic. I'm going to go ahead and drop you down. Okay, Chucky done left. Chucky couldn't take it. He came in here to troll, so that was the only thing Chucky came in here to do was to troll and talk out of his you-know-what. So, okay, go ahead, Trouble.
Thank you, Toter. Thank you. You know, we get tired of the Chuckies of the world, and I don't know if you've seen the movie, but you know, it didn't end well for Chucky. So, this video was a whole trip, and it is so much to unpack. And Tota, you said it well when you said, "Where is your proof? Where is your proof? If these things are actually happening to you, where is your proof?" And it just sounds really like the courts have been moving to declare a lot of Black folks Native and Aboriginal or whatever, and to allot some of those benefits. And it's starting to sound like they don't want us to share in any of the benefits that they've been receiving for a long time. So as far as white supremacy and Black supremacy goes, this is a white supremacist tactic. It's amazing mugs don't like to share. It's amazing that none of these points about how we were attacking you have ever come up until now, into this one woman's particular video. And so as far as the people coming up missing, the women and the children coming up missing, you all were attributing that to white folks just not too long ago. So how now is the narrative changing to where Black folks coming into your reservations are the cause? Because that's what you're alluding to, whether she said it or not. You're alluding to the fact that your women and children are coming up. Black folks, look, we get tired of our own kids. We ain't coming for yours. We ain't trying to do with no new set of kids. We ain't doing that. That's not what we're not getting ready to do that. Okay? Don't even try to put that on us. And international claims, as you stated already, Tota, how come you all didn't move against white supremacy on an international level a long time ago? Why are you now waiting for the courts to decide, okay, you got to share some of these teams with the Black people who are actually natives and Aboriginals themselves? Now it's Black supremacy. When have Blacks ever had any supremacy on this continent after you all's arrival? So it's just everything that she was saying is really just funny. It's gaslighting at its finest. And it just sounds like white supremacist trolling. It just sounds like scare tactics, because we're in an era now where it's easy to make Black folks the aggressor. And that's the language that we keep seeing with anybody who wants to demonize us as oh, you're aggressive, he's aggressive. Come on with the talking points. We're so used to that and so tired of that. But again, you're not providing the proof. You're just talking out of your rear, tootsie. So let's get some proof. Let's see what you're talking about. Because even if you show us the proof, I want to see the full proof. I want to know what happened before they started attacking you or verbally abusing you. Because you can't say you're being abused, but you keep saying over and over verbally abused, which means you don't like what you're hearing. And one thing we know is that other groups of people don't like when Black folks kick that truth to them, because you all choose to live in a rose-colored glasses-centered type of world. You want to live your life with rose-colored glasses on, and when that truth hits you, it's like, it's like kryptonite, So let's see this proof. Let's stop with these false claims. Let's stop, doing that. And as far as a comment somebody made earlier, as far as pretendians, I really hate when people call our people pretendians, because you never know about a person's lineage, how far it goes, and where it arrived from. We got to stop calling people pretendians on this app, because you have no idea, what's in their genealogy, what's in their family. And when we start tracing things back, because we've always heard in our family certain things, but when you start tracing it back, you see the reality of it. You can't tell us we wasn't here before Columbus, because there's too much proof that's out here. You cannot tell us that. And so just some of these narratives and talking points is highly annoying. Tota, you be on it like doggone it. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to DJ, Stephanie, and everybody coming up in the cut. I'm going to go ahead and land so I can go get me something to grub on. It's a Friday night, and I'm feeling all right.
All right. Thank you, Trouble. Yeah, you saw we had that troll that came up in. Everybody like, he's a Nigerian. He got upset. And he got upset when we started talking about Black people. It's crazy. Everybody believes in the out of Africa theory, but they don't believe it that Black people actually went to Europe, went to Asia, went to North America, went to South America. They kind of went then they kind of transform into these other races of people, and all the black skin, the dark skin, brown skin, whatever have you, just kind of just faded away and just died off or whatever. So I don't know what people be talking about. If you believe in the out of Africa theory, you had a bunch of black people, dark skinned people, melanated, whatever you want to call it, and they went to every place on earth and populated. So this joker here, he got upset. He was a troll, the Chucky troll. He came in here and he wanted to troll or whatever. He wanted to talk about. He got upset because he felt like, hey, but I think he said, you black people don't appreciate being African enough. I think that was his whole thing. And he started talking with the white supremacist talking point about the Cape Verde type of that. We didn't even settle that part. That's things that when white people start saying that's their way of saying, you know what? We came to this place, we colonized it, and there was nobody there. So he started, this Negro even started talking this nonsense right here as well, too. He couldn't even help but show who he really was. So glad that he came here to share that. I'm with you that as well, too, Trouble, when it comes to people calling people pretendians. I believe that, I believe there were black people here and this and that. I don't have an issue. I know in my roots, my DNA, that there's African DNA in my roots. I don't deny that whatsoever. I also know that being a black American, there's a admixture in my family. It just is what it is. We got all kinds. We got black in us. We got white in us. We got Asian probably in us. We got Native American and everything as well too. So I don't have an issue with that. But like I said, I truly believe that black people are indigenous to the entire planet. I don't think that they were just in one. They may have started off in one area, which was Africa, but I think they went all throughout this world and settled in every place where you got people at. And I think if you could actually dig the skeletons up in Antarctica, if there was ever life there, it would have been black people there as well too. So, like I said, this dude came in here to troll. He wasn't coming in here with no scholarship. He was just talking out as you know what. So we're going to let Stephanie go in. And DJ, I want you to play the video for anybody that has not heard the video up in the actual space as well too. But Stephanie, how you doing tonight?
Hello. I just wanted to say salute to the chat. Salute to Miss Trouble. Salute to Miss T. DJ, what's going on, man? To you, Mr. Newstoter, it's been a blessing to have you guys, in the circle. This is a topic, it really does need to be addressed because I don't know who's paying these people to just come out and just outright just start blaming black people for everything. It must be blame black people season. It's been that way for the past 100 years or so. It's always blame the black man or black woman for something. And quite frankly, it's to the point where it's really frustrating. So, the only thing I would have to say to this is I did see the video. I did watch it. And it was pretty frustrating because I don't know how much respect do they have for the black Indian, because black Indians actually do exist. Black Indians have been going on these reservations and going to the powwow ceremonies for years. I've been seeing images of black Native women and men dancing and doing traditional cultural dances of their Native ancestors. So I don't know what part that they can't grasp, but that they were actually black natives that lives on reservations. Look at the Shinnecock Reservation in Long Island. Okay, the Shinnecock Reservations, if you look at Foxwood, if you look at some of these other places, even in the Deep South, you have some. My grandmother's is part Blackfoot. My father's family, they have Native ancestry. I'm still researching that. So, for them to turn around and just be totally disingenuous, you see how they kicked the Seminoles, the black Seminoles out. You see how they kicked out the black Creeks and the black Muskogees and the Crows. They kicked a lot of them out. And, just to try to lighten it up because they done accepted a few $5 Indians that married into their tribe and procreated these little half-breeds. But I wonder, did she bring up the fact that there's a lot of drug lords that's coming in from Mexico and they are slowly taking over some of those reservations because a lot of them, they're doing drug trafficking and sex trafficking also on some of these reservations. And they went to the U.S. government to try to get help. And lo and behold, they can't get help because they, quote unquote, are a sovereign nation. So they have to figure that out for themselves. But she didn't bring that up, though. And just like she's talking about these missing Native women and girls, Just think back in the 90s, near Juarez, Mexico. It was right in Juarez, Mexico. They found hundreds of dead bodies of women and children. So, could that be a coincidence, or could it just be a figment of our imagination because they're saying black people are there and they're being aggressive with them? So, I don't know which side of the fence these folks play on, but I know when they have a tragedy, they like to use our black icons to say, hey, we're in this together. But then as soon as something happens, then it's okay, the black people are attacking us. We've seen this with the Asians. We see this with the Hispanics now. We're seeing this with white folks. Let them all, let them have each other. The Mexicans is trying to come in and say, hey, we're Native American too. We have Native ancestry, because they want to get in on the reparations, get a check once a month thing. So, it's a lot of stuff that plays into this situation, but you don't hear them complaining about that in big numbers, but they want to sit up here and complain about a few black folks. Now, I don't believe that black people are going to these reservations and harassing them and trying to bully them. I don't believe that at all. I gotta see some evidence, hardcore evidence, when it comes to that. They might be fighting over minute things, maybe, to get access back into the tribes. Maybe that's what she's talking about. But as far as anything else, I don't think I've heard anything like this before ever. And that's as far as I'm going to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like I say, if you got all this evidence and all this proof, if black people are doing all of this, let you tell it, taking your kids and your women and stuff like that, then go ahead and post it. This would be international news. You talk about filing a complaint, this and that, whatever. If you take this to the United States government and they found out that black people were doing all of this and Native Americans and stuff like that, it'd be plastered all over the news. So I want to see all of this evidence that she has. Apparently she got all these videos and all this proof and this and that or whatever. You ain't never in your life heard no black person talk about, oh, I'm going to go kick some Indians' ass today. Never. First off, let's be for real. Unless you're in certain states, like they say out there in the Southwest and stuff like that, even though we have the Seminole tribes here in Florida, how often do you actually see an actual real Indian in person? You almost never. If you see one, and like you say, and we have these $5 ones, most of them you can't tell from an actual white person. So when are we coming across all of these Indians? And people ain't never say, well, you know what, we ain't got nothing. What y'all want to get into today? Oh yeah, let's go out there to the reservation and rough up some Indians. I mean, what in the world are you talking about here? Go ahead, Stephanie. You got it. DJ, when you get a chance after Stephanie talks, play that video for those that haven't had a chance to hear it too.
Okay. I also wanted to say that I had put something in your chat as far as the original bones that they found between 1650 and 1700. They believe that it was some black bones that they identified. They believed to be the original American Indians. So I posted that in the comment section. And I forgot what else I was going to say, but that's it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem, guys. For those in the space, make sure you go ahead and tweet out the space tonight. Definitely go ahead and tweet it out. We want to hear what some people got to say as well too. What's your opinion about this topic tonight? Is this becoming the issue? Is it because black people are championing reparations? And we know every time black people talk about reparations, even when you had Joe Biden a few years ago talk about he would consider reparations of Native Americans was attached to it. Are there some of the Native American community that feel like, hey, they're being bypassed, and that, hey, all this talk about black people and reparations gaining steam or something? Is there some resentment that could be with some of the people in the community as well too? DJ, did you get a chance to pull that up yet?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Computer acting a little funky for code. 2 seconds.
Okay, yeah. I want to definitely get what people got to say here too, because for the longest, that black people have always, looked at Native Americans with a high level of respect, for a high level of respect. Now, there are a lot of, we found out later on, there were quite a bit of Native American tribes in this country that owned slaves, and quite a few of them that when it was time to go ahead and those black people were entitled to getting something, they did their best not to go ahead and give them anything as well too, and tried to exclude them out a whole lot of things as well too. So Ricky, go ahead and unmute your mic.
And one thing I wanted to ask about all of this that's going on, these reservations are sovereign territory. and they're allowed to defend it. They're allowed to protect it. They have their like own police, and it's like a separate country. So for these people to say that, oh, everybody just running on the reservations and doing whatever they want to do. Native American reservations, I've been to several. They're really nice places. But a lot of them, especially if you're going to run up on there, these people defend themselves. They have guns and everything else. The idea that there's a bunch of black people going over there and doing whatever, that's an absolute lie. I'm not buying it. Just want to throw that in.
Real talk as well too. And I'm wondering who's putting her up to this as well too. Now this has just come out of the thin air for this to become a topic now. And now you're sitting up here, like I said, I think Trouble said it or Stephanie said it before. I'm not sure which one of you ladies said it, but 1 minute black people are doing this to Asians. The next minute, black people now doing this to Native Americans. The next minute you'll see they'll talk about black people are doing stuff to gay people, the LGBTQ. Like it's like, let's go ahead and put black people and make them the actual. I don't know if somebody's having a back deal with a back deal meeting with some of these groups and stuff like that and say, well, you know, if you go ahead and you put this on black people and this and that, people will believe it or whatever. So you got all of these groups and stuff now coming with a whole lot of black vitriol, a whole lot of finger waving and finger pointing and stuff, talk about what black people did to them. For the most part, black people are not even studying these groups right here. So I want to know exactly who put this in this woman's head. I know a lot of people saw the actual video and they say, that looks like a white woman. She looks like a white woman. She's not even, got to remember too, the whole thing when they say the $5 Indian thing is real. There are a lot of genetically white people that claim that they're Native Americans in this country as well too. And there's a whole lot, and we talk about the admixture of black people, even the ones that may not be $5 Native Americans, it's a whole bunch of them that actually mix with white people as well too. So you got your $5 ones and you got those that just simply are admixture and mix with a bunch of white folks over time as well too. So they can actually fit into society as well too. DJ, let me know if you ready to put that on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's something up with this Chrome or something. This seems to be like a glitch in the video trying to play the Chrome. But give me 1 second. 1 second.
Okay. Kay Williams says, we have nothing but enemies on this planet, including within. You know, Dr. John Henry Clark said it best. He said it before. He says, you know, we have no allies. And, you know, yeah, you can be friends with people on an individual basis. But when in terms of you talking about, you know, as a groups of people getting along and coming to a common interest, it seems like we really having some issues in terms of, you know, group thinking and whatnot. Like I just don't see it. Every group is for themselves. And I really, truly believe that with all of the momentum being picked up, and like I say, I don't know if this woman is a true Native American. I don't know if she's a $5 one or whatever, but then you're starting to wonder, because a lot of groups, and it's just not Native Americans, it's a lot of groups that feel like the reparation talk that they should be included. That's Latinos, that's people who just showed up yesterday, immigrants and stuff like. It's a bunch of people that feel like they should be included in it, and because they're not being included in this conversation, now they're starting to have more and more issues with black people. They already had issues with them, but now they're starting to have more and more issues. And I truly believe that this woman here, and that's why you have Biden and some of these other people, and I don't know if it was Biden or Elizabeth Warren as well too. Anytime you start talking about doing something for black people, then you got to sit up here and talk about, well, we got to attach this group to it. Now, when you do something for that group, you're not sitting up here trying to attach black people to it. But whenever it's for black people, well, you know, he's setting up here, and Joe Biden has no plans on doing anything in terms of reparation, but he put the Native American thing in there because he knows most black people are going to say no. Like, look, that y'all not splitting that casino money up with us, up with the Native Americans. When the Native Americans get their casino money and they get their no taxes and everything else, y'all not splitting that up with black people. That's all it is. So why should we split up something? They didn't go through what we went through. They went through their little shop of horrors, and we went through ours. You know, and big ups to them. Whatever they can get from the government, you have never heard one black group or organization stand up and say Native Americans shouldn't get anything, or if Native Americans get something, they owe it to us, or the Native Americans should split it up with us, or anything like that. Not whatsoever. So there shouldn't be any politicians, there shouldn't be any activists, there shouldn't be any group saying the same thing. Whatever we get belongs totally to us. Totally. than nobody else. And we don't need to split it up with Latinos. We don't need to split it up with any other minority group or anything else. And that includes Native Americans too. I don't have anything against Native Americans, but like I said, they're getting money. They've been making billions of dollars. If you go over the years with these casinos, making billions of dollars, got all kind of tax-free stuff, got their own land. People can say how rough it is out there on those reservations, but they're at least able to govern themselves and everything else like that. Look, let us do the same for us. Let us do the same for us. We can't do that. No. So no, whatever they get, is theirs. Nobody in this space is going to protest it, but we get something, it needs to be solely for us. And you don't need to have a president, a vice president, or a sitting senator, a congressman, a congresswoman, anybody else sitting up here talking about, we all got to share this and you got to share that. And it's only fair. Go talk to them and do this and do that. And we can't do nothing because this group is now becoming the largest group in the country. And if you need to speak with them and get everything right. And if you speak with them and you get on their good side, then we may be able to sit down, negotiate and talk at the table. Like, hell no. Nobody told black people that in the 60s, like, hey, y'all the biggest minority group in the country, all you Latinos and all you Asians and everybody else, y'all go talk to black people because, black people are the biggest and the most influential minority group or minority or whatever group you want to say in this country. We're going to get something done. Y'all need to speak to them. Nobody says no kind of crap like that. Only when it's time for black people to get something. Like, good Lord, like this woman just popped up out of anything. We just dealt with Diane Yepes, dumbass, sitting up here lying, coming up with statistics about per capita, and they sit up here and they feed her all this garbage. And when you say, hey, show me the proof, show me this actual, break this down, show us where you getting these actual facts and statistics and all this stuff from, all of a sudden we speak in French. She don't know what we're talking about. Oh, I got it. Well, go ahead and break it down. And don't even give us that per capita crap either when we're telling you the total numbers, the raw data says this is not the case. What's up, DJ? I see you got your hand up.
All right. I guess it's maybe just on the studio commodities. It's just like real static. I checked it on about 2 or 3 different browsers, and this is the same static, but it's not like that on the phone with the app. But I'm gonna just play it though. So I guess the best thing to do is maybe just hopefully if y'all can hear it the one time. If not, I'll do another loop around. So, all right, y'all. So it says right here, Native American woman says black Aboriginals are attacking them on reservations. And she look white, so it is what it is. Well, let's check this out. Share the room, y'all. Newstoter.
Here to let you know a little secret, which won't be a secret anymore. So those supposed black Aboriginals who are pushing erasure on indigenous culture and claiming that they are the originals have been going into native land reservations and assaulting verbally and pushing aggressiveness in reservations. A international violation on human rights. We have now sent in our information and all of their videos and all of their abuse and their insensitive tactics that they have used, along with white supremacy. We've included black supremacy because this is going to stop. And they are committing human rights violations. Now that our women and our children are coming up missing, and these individuals are showing up on reservations with weapons and committing violent crimes and verbal abuse, we have now taken it one step further. So anybody who is caught doing what they are doing will be included in this situation as well, because we are going after them now internationally under our right to do so as sovereign beings. Told them to leave us alone, but they didn't want to. They thought that this was a game. And we have plenty of videos of them threatening. We have plenty of videos of them saying when they come for us. And so all of it is being sent out internationally now under a human rights violation. So brothers and sisters, be prepared because Armageddon has begun.
Let me know if y'all want me to run it back again.
No, that was good. I mean, I could hear it with no problem. So I mean, we didn't hear any static, anything like that. So I mean, we could hear it fine. Somebody is putting a battery in these people back, and somebody's also giving them a bag to sit up here and say this, because what's the point of making a damn TikTok video if you're not going to actually put the damn, what that TikTok video should have been the evidence and the proof that you was putting out right then and there, showing these black people coming up into the reservation, cursing you out. And you mean to tell me that you got these black people coming up here, taking your children, taking your women, and y'all not going to the authorities about this, even though you have your own, sovereign nation and everything else? That still doesn't mean that you can't reach out to the United States as well, too. Like, oh, we've been overran and this and that, and these black, all you gotta do is say that black people sitting up here and they're abusing you. Okay, the United States will step in, be it a sovereign nation or not, and you're still sovereign nation. You're still on the actual grounds of the United States of America as well. So I don't believe this for one bit. Like I said, you got all this evidence and all this and all that. It's nothing in a day's time to go ahead and send this stuff out to any kind of media outlet, and it'll be all over the internet. It'll be all on the national news. It'll be on world news. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on all the social media platforms, because anytime you can show that a black person is actually doing something and harming you, you know, that's exactly what the media wants to see anyways. They would absolutely love to see that. If you had that kind of evidence with it in your fingertips like that, and you could release it, and you got all these videos, and not only that, we know how bad human trafficking is. So you got black people coming to your actual reservation, taking children and taking women, threatening you guys left and right. And you sitting up here, and then at the end of your little video, you want to talk all hard, talk about, well, Armageddon is about to come. Well, hell, Armageddon should already been came if they sitting up here taking your women and your children like that. Like, I mean, you guys got your police forces and everything else on some of these reservations. So I'm just figuring out how did all of this happen? And how, if you got all of this information, you got all these recordings, we're in the digital age right now, why not go ahead and share the actual video? Share the video. You can send this to NBC, CBS. You can send it to Fox News. You think Fox News would not love a story of black people, quote unquote, the same people they say always complain about racism and being treated bad or whatever, going to Native Americans, a group that people consider to be this peaceful group who never harmed anybody, hurt anybody, this and that or whatever. Well, these black people going out to these reservations, and they're sitting up here and they're telling the people that that they're the actual Aboriginals of this continent, and that they're the actual first people, and you know that their culture is this and that or whatever. And not only that, but they're threatening people, and they're stealing people's wives and kids and women and everything else like that. I mean, come on, man. Please, this would be one of the top 4-5 stories in not only America but worldwide. Everybody be talking about this. Everybody be sitting up here making these videos. You be having people on social media all day long ripping black people apart, talking about black people are hypocrites and this and that or whatever. So post it. If you have all of this content, you got all this information, where is it? Share it with everybody so we can all see it. Because right now you're just talking. You must don't have it. If you got it, you would already have it. You would already be posting it. And like I say, it'd just be everywhere. You couldn't turn anywhere. When they supposedly, when these black people were attacking all these Asians, they couldn't help but show it on TV. Every time you turn around, they were showing a black person doing something to an Asian or whatever. And even everybody had their opinions about that as well too. So where's all these videos? Where are all the videos, and where's all the proof and all this and that or whatever? You're sitting up and you're talking about you're going to file a international claim against black supremacy along with white supremacy. We know you're not going to file an international claim against white supremacy. So you can just stop that lie right there. You're not going to file any kind of claim, any kind of international claim against white supremacy. You're going to sit right there on those reservations like you've been doing for the past almost 200 years, and you're not going to be filing any claim. Because you already know when you sign those treaties and everything else, and you're getting that casino money and that tax-free money, you ain't finna file no claim against white people. But you're sitting up here talking, well, the black people and the black supremacy, and then, yeah, please, black people didn't put you on those reservations. Black people weren't sitting out giving you smallpox blankets and everything else like that. Black people aren't the reason that your population got destroyed the way it was. Black people didn't destroy your culture and none of this kind of stuff right here. So to sit up here and say that you're going to form a complaint and that black supremacy and white supremacy, that is just nonsense what you're talking about right there. It seems like and pick on somebody that you think you have a chance of beating as compared to somebody you know you can't beat. You're looking for a person that, hey, you know, I know I can't beat them, but this person here, I think I can probably beat them because this is a downtrodden group right here in hell. Everybody beats on them. So what is it for us to go ahead and beat them as well, too? So don't think we didn't forget about the damn y'all being the damn Confederate slave catchers and stuff like that as well, too. So, you know, there could be a whole lot of reasons of why all of a sudden now this is coming out. Because there are a significant amount of black people as well, too, haven't forgot that, hey, you had quite a bit of Native Americans that was working on the side of the Confederate during the Civil War as well, too. And that's something that's really rarely ever talked about that much, but that is a part of history as well, too. So I don't know what this woman's talking about. I remember years ago, they had this thing here in Florida, and they had this, it was some kind of Seminole tribe celebration. And the actual queen, and I kid you not, the actual queen of the celebration, you know, we looking around. So, okay, well, they got the Seminole tribes. Let's see how the queen gonna look or whatever. I kid you not, this woman that was the actual queen of the damn Seminole tribe celebration looked like she could have been Roseanne Barr's daughter. I mean, she looked like a younger version of Roseanne Barr. And I'm like, well, where in the hell is the Indian at in this woman right here? Because I don't see a trace of Indian in her. She looked like, in terms of shape, the face, the roundness, and everything else, body, hair. This woman looked like she could have been Roseanne Barr's daughter. So don't sit up here and feed us this crap right here. Somebody done gave you this info. Somebody done gave you this lie to go ahead and push out there to everybody else. And black people aren't coming up there doing this crap here to you. DJ, in trouble, and I see we got a number of people up in here. Shout out to Black Majority State. Shout out, I see you up in here, Miss T, Rerod, Ray, Shannon, what's going on? Listen, Goddess, Carlos. Carlos actually was the one that hit me off with this video. Carlos was like, hey, you think I think this is something that's worth talking about as well, too, because I actually had something else titled for the night space tonight. Y'all know I don't normally do the Friday night spaces, but we was going to do one, and I had something else titled, and I'm like, well, let's go ahead and actually talk about this one right here, like, because this, I don't like the feel of this. I honestly, I don't like the feel of this. I don't like how this is just coming out of left field right here, out of nowhere. You know, most black people, and whether people like it or not, a lot of black people have never had a problem acknowledging the actual, Native American blood in their veins and stuff like that. So to sit up here and say that black people are singling out this group and that black people are attacking them and this and that, and I just have an issue, right? When you start sitting up here talking about black people are going to these reservations, this is the part really that bothers me. If you're saying that black people are going out there and maybe there was some scuffles going on and, black people were sitting out there and they were trolling them, saying that they were the original people on this continent. Okay, that's one thing. When you start sitting up here talking about black people are coming out here and they're basically, you talk about stealing, but they're basically kidnapping. What you're saying is they're kidnapping children and women. That's serious right there. That's not a joking matter. And if you, like I said, if you got the proof, then post it. But when you start sitting up here talking about black people are going to reservations and they're kidnapping children and women, that does not sit well with me. To me, that's dangerous. And like I said, if you had this proof, then why wouldn't you post it? Go ahead, DJ. You got it.
Yeah, well, you already know we living in an age of obviously supremacy. Like most folks say, don't even say white supremacy anymore, just say supremacy. So you have to ask yourself, right? Who are the Native Americans? And when someone asks you that, the answer is you're looking at one. When someone asks you who are the Native Americans, you say you're looking at one. This lady looks Mexican. Let's get to the meat and the potatoes of this. This is a Mexican, or at best, a Mongolian. At best, a Mongolian woman. That's what she looked like, yo. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at a lot of these Olmec heads, you know what I'm saying, that are in like South America, you know what I mean? I'm not saying there wasn't no light-skinned knackers down there, because I'm a light-skinned knacker. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying to you is they don't look like these so-called Native Americans to me. So I'll put a video in the Jumbotron. Shout out to Dane Calloway. It's your boy Trump up in there. And he says, well, they don't look like Indians to me. That's what Trump's saying. You know what I mean? These people that you saying are Indians, they don't look like Indians to me. So I think y'all need to go watch that video. And that got to do with when the casinos was being built on these reservations in like the 80s and the 90s. Very impactful video. They don't look like Indians to me. So this lady talking about black supremacy. Black people cannot be supreme against anyone. We don't have the means to be racist or any of that other stuff. That takes resources and time we don't have. So what the hell is she even talking about? And then when you're talking about taking it to the United Nations, they don't care about your ass. They don't care about you, shorty. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, they would have did something for you back then. Other than your tribe just having treaties with the United States government. Why didn't they do anything for you all these years? So when Joe Biden say, hey, well, you know, if y'all want reparations, knackers, you better include the Native American. Well, who the Native American to them? Their people. You know what I'm saying? The white folks. We know they're not. So at the end of the day, when someone asks you again, who are the Native Americans, you are to say you are looking at one. That is the new rule, since these white folks and everybody else that want to play tether supremacy against black people. You know what I'm saying? Tether supremacy. You know what I'm saying? That's the new word. I made that up. You know what I mean? Tether supremacy. You know what I mean? So y'all want to play that game on us, we just going to hit you with the rook. That's the reversal card. Y'all better be picking up on this codified language. The rook. You know what I mean? And hit them right back smack with it. You know, here's the reason why we can say this, right? So, rest in peace to my great auntie. She was my mama, you know what I mean, as well. So, great auntie used to tell me, you know, we got some native tribes in our family, man. You know what I mean? Really, auntie? Break it down. Yeah, my great-grandmother's, one of our cousins, and this is her great-grandmother, she's saying, now, keep in mind, my aunt passed away, then they're 90 years old. So she's saying her great-grandmother, you already know what time it is. We going back before the Civil War, saying that one of her somebody on the great-grandma's side, and this is down in North Carolina and Georgia and all this other stuff that where all my family from, married into a native tribe, and they moved to Buffalo and lost contact with them. So I'm always thinking, because it's always in my mind now, it's just my aunt told me that, were any of those folks murdered at the top supermarket Mike came from? Something to think about. So you don't know what your background is, like Trouble said, until you start asking the oldest person in your family. Now, I got into a lot of arguments recently on IG, that's Instagram, owned by Meta, aka saying stay off that platform too. So get into arguments about that, you know what I'm saying? So why don't y'all folks, like you said, Tyler, you know, why didn't you just take this 2-minute TikTok video you made, Mexican lady, and make it a 5-minute video and post it some receipts so we could rebuttal you and debate you and come back with some real receipts, the real ones, aka those DOS rolls that was written, you know what I'm saying? The Negro language that Obama took off the federal papers. Let's go. And about all these treaties, let's talk about how when Columbus landed here, when you ever looked at any of his information, you saw dark-skinned and copper-colored black people. So was that your ancestors, Mexican lady? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I think that was my people's. You know what I'm saying? I think that was your people, Sister Rewild. You look native, sister. Mrs. T, you definitely look like a native sister. Dr. Ho, Dr. Ho, Dr. Ho. You know what I'm saying? Black majority, you look native. You know what I'm saying? Ray, shout out to you. Get the education actor. You look native. You know what I'm saying? Everybody up in here look native to me. I don't know who this Mexican lady is. Who descends from Mongolia, aka the Genghis Khan tribe, which that nigga Naka was a Naka too. Keep it real. Genghis Khan was a Naka. know what I'm saying? Well, he's a northern Asian now. You know what I'm saying?
He was a what? Hey, who? Genghis Khan?
He was a northern Asian Nak. He had dark skin.
He was Oriental.
Well, he was a dark one. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real, because all the nomads and the natives, they were brown native people, just like the Tanzanians or the Tasmanian people in Australia. They dark as
Well,
well.
Yeah, I would go ahead and say that they have black in them, but the Genghis Khan, yeah, that joker was Asian.
Well, again, we're just going off the color. You know, not saying black us up in here. You know what I'm saying? We're just saying throughout history, and this has been proven by the white Krakenaka, that all native folks or indigenous folks, they were people of color. And I hate using that term, but that's what they say. Go ahead, Doc.
Dr. No, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you. It's a very interesting conversation. It seems like these different ethnic groups, in order to get a bag or some type of money, all they have to say is some black person is attacking us. Now, these Native Americans are trying to deny black people their rights, just like they did in the past. They don't want to share the money. So they'll say anything to get black people kicked off. Those are reservations that try to get you kicked out the tribe so you can't share in the money. I heard somebody talk about the Island Africa theory. I just cannot believe that as large as this planet is, that only the humans were first just in America. You had that stuff everywhere else, but so far as humans, I only had them in America. I heard this guy a few minutes ago talk about those ancient Asians. They were black in color. Now you ask yourself, what happened to them? When did those pale ones come into the picture? And when did the dark ones leave? The same thing up with Russia. The first people that were black, but what happened to them? Same thing with America. They say the first people here were black, but how did they look? And where did they go? You notice they have pictures of everybody else except for black people in America? And they say these damn white ones come from Mongolia. Okay? But what about the black ones that were already here? So I just don't really believe that the creator God, or whatever you want to call him, just created one man and put him in Africa. And that man and woman just branched out all over this planet. I just don't believe that. Just because the evidence is coming out that you had people here already. Now I'm quite sure that people traveled back and forth, because there's proof of that. That people did travel back and forth. The Africans knew how to get to America way before Columbus came here. But for some reason or another, these light-skinned ones, pale ones, they didn't know about traveling back and forth. So my question is, when do these people come about? They always want to say that they come from black people. Well, I mean, people have documented everything else about God and all kinds of other things. Didn't nobody write down that some white person was born, and from that person arise a whole nation of white people? So it's a bunch of shit going on that's not being told us, because you got to remember this one thing: we have been separated from our past, from our ancestors, about what type of God we serve, they serve rather, how they lived, what type of technology they have. They just separated us from that, and now they're bringing all this stuff out just like it's just been created. But hey, that's one thing about this internet. It's a curse, and it's bad and it's good. It's bad because some of the information is not good on there, but it's good because there is some information out there that they haven't got to yet that they will take down if you catch too many people getting on that. Box. If you don't find some good juicy information, screenshot, get you some type of memory card or whatever you got to put it down, because they're going to take it away, and there goes your evidence. But like I said, I like this conversation, man. I like that we are starting to understand about ourselves, who we are. I'm not shitting on Africans.
Hey, try not to curse. Try not to curse.
excuse me, brother, I apologize, but my sister was telling me about she went through the DNA test and we had some type of African. I said, let me ask you a question. Why is it you got to take the DNA test? But any written proof? There's no written proof that we have Africans. We went back to maybe like 5 years after this place became America in the 1700s. We went back that far, but I don't see no Africans nowhere in there. Only Black Americans. So, hey, man, like I said, I appreciate the conversation. I'm going to continue to listen to the Sport Channel. So, hey, man, keep on doing your thing. I'm going to land my plane. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
All right. Appreciate that. Thank you. That's an interesting comment. I see we got a bunch of people up in here, guys. Let's try to get some of y'all to come up here. We want to hear what you guys got to say. It's a Friday night. Just share your opinion on it. If you believe that the female was correct in her video about Black people coming up to these reservations and basically kidnapping and doing all kind of crazy stuff on these reservations, come on up here and let us know if you disagree with it and you think that it was nonsense. Carlos was saying that Carlos said in the comments, which something I found that was pretty on point. He was saying she hasn't posted those videos yet because they haven't staged them yet. he ain't lying. Like, they haven't created these little videos of Black people doing all this crazy stuff. That's why they hadn't posted them up yet. So when they go ahead and they get they paid actors and everything else, and they go ahead and start posting this stuff, then you'll start seeing them putting it on TikTok and Instagram and all these other platforms, X and everything else as well too. But because they haven't actually staged it, created it, made it, they aren't posting them yet. And once they start posting them, it won't take long, like I say, to get major media coverage as well too, because the media would love nothing better to see something like that. DJ, go ahead and unmute your mic. You got it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this article video that just recently came out only a couple months ago. I think it was the Cretan tribe was trying to kick out the Black members, saying that because of pretty much some type of reparations money that they're getting or whatever. They don't want none of the Black members to have any of it. And also right here, just looking at certain articles online, 2 Black members of Native tribes were arrested. The law sees only one as Indian. The Creek Nation the Creek Nation acknowledges that descendants of people once enslaved by the tribe shall also qualify as Cherokee. So that this is something that actually needs to be talked about, because you got a lot of these folks by way of the government, like you said, the white folks, who are the $5 Indians. They're the ones making treaties with the government saying who should and shouldn't get the money. But they've always tried to kick the black native that they adopted into their tribe. So, just following a little history right here. Following the Civil War, the Muskogee Creek Nation was required to accept as citizens the people of African descent it had once enslaved. But a 1979 change to the tribe's constitution defined citizenship by blood. As a result, Black Creeks and their descendants, known as freemen, were effectively expelled. And this was December 1st, 2022. Hopefully, I ain't in the matrix. Y'all can hear me. My checking on too.
Yeah, you pause for a second, but go ahead.
No, that was it. That was hopefully y'all heard me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just towards the end, I heard you just pause for a second. So I didn't know if you had something more to say.
No, just hopefully y'all heard. As a result, Black Creeks and their descendants, known as freemen, were effectively expelled December 1st, 2022. That's it for the most part.
Yeah, like I said, they don't want to. Oh, go ahead, Trouble.
DJ, that goes to the point I made in the beginning when I said that I believe that a lot of this is falling basically on the fact that they don't want to share with these Negroes or Black folks who are also Native or Indigenous or Aboriginal. They don't want to share the love. They don't want to share the money. They don't want to share the benefits. And so they're creating this narrative of being attacked. And let's be 100% honest about it. If they do a DNA test, I'm pretty sure that the Blacks are more Native and more Aboriginal than those who are inside of these, clans that's claiming all of this money. They made these deals with the white folks to keep the Black folks from getting it. and they're still trying to make deals to keep us from getting what it is that we are rightfully owed. Because at the end of the day, all of this stuff is ours. So I just wanted to make that point, that the articles that you read is pretty much what I said in the beginning. They don't want to share the money or the benefits. And so they're going to have all of these narratives. And why is there only this one person that's coming out saying, oh, well, we're being attacked? If they were being attacked like they say they're being attacked, you can evermore believe there'd be a slew of videos. There'd be a slew of people talking about it online. You can evermore believe that it would be being blown, the spot would be blown up about the conversation. But it's not. Why? Because this is a false narrative. And you all are just trying to kick up dust. And you saying this, you're hoping that the rest of them catch that wink that you're giving them right now, so that the rest of them will start saying, you know what, yeah, we're being attacked over here by these Negroes too. Yeah, we being attacked. You know, we got to get them up out the paint. You know, so I'll end.
Thank you. I see we got Rerod up here as well. Real quick before I get to you, Rerod, guys, make sure y'all go ahead and click the notification bell on YouTube, guys. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this, you're on YouTube listening, click that notification bell, like tonight's broadcast, give a comment. Also, for those that can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter. For those that do not have Cash App, we have the PayPal and Venmo in the Jumbotron. And for those on YouTube, we have the PayPal and Venmo up in the actual description. We also have the Newstoter membership, guys. We have a Newstoter membership where you can be a monthly contributor to the platform. That's up in the Jumbotron as well, too. I think we got maybe 7-8 signups, guys. So we're trying to see if we can get a couple signups tonight. You can sign up, become a contributor for as little as $1.75 a month, for as little as $1.75 a month. We're looking to get members, but we're also looking to build up an actual database of users, so we can go ahead and start getting more of this content out as well, too, guys. So if you have not become a member of the actual Newstoter platform, you can do that. It's up in the Jumbotron. For my people on YouTube, it's right on the screen. You see the link on the screen where it says support Newstoter by becoming a member to the platform. Click that link, and it takes about a minute to set up and create you an account, guys. It is very, very quick, very fast, and we definitely need that support. Let me give a shout out real quick to Jared for his contribution on Cash App. Let me go ahead and kick it to Rerod. Rerod, what's going on?
Hey, Newstoter, DJ, everybody in the space, peace and blessings to you. Can I be heard? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I'm driving. I just wanted to tap in real quick and say I did see another video. I seen a video of this so-called Native American woman, and there were some Hebrew Israelites on the reservation. From what I seen, it didn't look violent. We know how the Hebrew Israelites get down. They just want to talk. They just want to, pretty much say what they want to say, and they want to, get the truth out there. They did have their weapons, but they weren't brandishing them or anything. That's just how they roll. They always have their weapons. And I think I agree with you, Newstoter. I think that this is just another play on us. You got everybody coming down on us. We got people in Israel talking about the black youth are the biggest threats there. How? They're probably never going to go to Israel. But for me, I just think that it's something more diabolical going on behind this when you have pretty much the whole world against one small group of people. And I think that we should definitely keep our eyes and ears open for that, because it doesn't make sense. I'm a Black American woman. I go home and mind my business every day. I've been to reservations, especially on the 4th of July, because they like to sell fireworks and stuff. And they never kicked me out. If anything, they've asked me to stay and hang out a little bit longer. So I don't understand it, but it just definitely seems like the whole world is getting on board with our demise, and it's just sickening. It's sickening. It's disgusting, and I can't believe that the Native Americans are doing this. I am so disappointed, because I got some Native history too. I think that we all do. Maybe because it was hidden, whatever the case is, I don't know. But my granddad is Native, and my dad on my dad's side, on my mom's side, my grandfather's Native. And on my dad's side, he said I got a Blackfoot Indian auntie. So I don't know, I don't know what their problem is, and I think that this is a real desperate attempt for them to just get involved, Oh, they've been silent and dormant for a while, sitting in those casinos, collecting money, all that. So yeah, now that something's going on, of course, they want to seem oppressed too. How are you oppressed? You have your own sovereign state, your own sovereign place we can go. If you don't want people on your reservation, they can't come on your reservation. It's pretty simple. When I went to the reservation, I was trying to get fireworks, so they were letting everybody in. But for the most part, there's a gate there. You can't just get on the reservation. You have to be let in. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about, but this is sad. This is really sad. Y'all too, for real. Who else? Who's next? Oh, the Atlanteans? Like, who's next? Who's gonna come out the woodworks and say what? So yeah, that's it. I'll end.
All right. Thank you, Rira. Appreciate it. We go ahead. I see we got Black Majority State up here. Black, what's going on with you tonight?
Hello. Good evening. So let me say, I saw that video that you reposted, and shout out to the brother Darvid Osiris and other folks who do try to, post about these connections. It's genealogy, it's an amalgamation, it exists for some, but not all. And that's part of what makes us, this very unique ethnogenesis here in America or this mixed genetic history that includes a bunch of different groups of people. So that just is how we have evolved, I guess, as a people. But there's another video that the brother Darvid posted. I put it in your purple pill, and in that video, you actually see videos of the brothers in purple and gold out there talking to natives. There's no aggression at all in those video clips. They also post some of the materials that they were handing out. And in my opinion, when I watched the little short clips that are in that video, I said, okay, they look like Jehovah Witnesses. They look like a religious group that are out spreading the gospel, spreading the word to a group of people the same way all these other religious orders have done in indigenous populations. And just kind of having a conversation, and from my opinion, it looks like they're intent on opening up a dialogue with these people. The fact that these are two women on TikTok posting this sounding the alarm does sound like they may believe that there is a way for them to elevate that to some type of financial benefit in some way, shape, or form. Because that to me is the only outcome that it looks like they would be trying to go for. They do have police officers, they do have courts, they do have all this ability to keep people out of the reservation, to arrest people on the reservation. And so it sounds really insane listening to these women babble. But that second video, you get a better, physical, visual idea of them just standing around talking in broad daylight. So yeah, it's pretty laughable in my opinion, to be quite honest. But the thing about it is all of these people are very dangerous. They all have a mic. They all can get out there and make wild, false accusations. And whether it's a GoFundMe account that they are trying to boost or some other nefarious agenda, it's all anti-Black American, and that really is, increasingly going to be a problem, because we're not going to get federal protections. I hate to, bust anybody's bubble on that. And if we don't increasingly move to protect ourselves, we're going to find ourselves in a whole heap of trouble. And I'll end on that.
I'd be caught up in the matrix, y'all. Okay, thank you, Black. It looked like I was going to be caught up in the matrix for a second. I wanted to touch up what you said real quick too, and what Rerod said about the Hebrew Israelites being there, because from my understanding, and I have a cousin that's a Hebrew Israelite, but from my understanding, they believe that Native Americans are also part of the 12 tribes. So I know they wouldn't be going out there actually trying to get anything physical with them, anything like that. They believe that, they believe in the 12 tribe chart. They believe in Mexicans and a bunch of other groups and stuff, along with Black Americans being part of the actual 12 tribes of Israel. So they're not going to go out there trying to raise any kind of conflict or situation with them as well too. So like I said, I personally believe that, I think they see that the steam is, because you have to take this reparation thing for what it is. There are people worldwide now. There are countries worldwide. You got Poland. You got all these other countries worldwide talking, where's my reparations for World War II? Where's my reparations for this? You got people sitting up here talking about Russia owes Ukraine reparations. Like, so the word reparations getting thrown around a bunch. I think you see a lot of Native Americans, and that's not all of them, but you got I think you have a certain demographic of them saying, you know what, if these Black people gonna get anything, we gonna get it as well too. Or if the Black people gonna do this or whatever, we need to go ahead and make our claim for it. So I just, for the simple fact that they're throwing all of this stuff around and this and that or whatever, it don't make any sense. Like I said, and if people were actually up here, and this is my thing too, when you're talking about you being threatened or whatever, that's serious enough right there. You're saying that people threaten you and this and that or whatever. Okay. But when you're sitting up here talking about that kids and women are being kidnapped, possibly even trafficked, who knows, but being kidnapped, then that's serious. That's a situation that needs to be handled or whatever. So to sit up here and say, you know what, that they're coming on here and they're taking our kids and they're taking women and this and that or whatever. And basically, so you tell me that they're coming on these reservations, taking y'all kids and your women, and y'all ain't doing nothing about it whatsoever, not doing a thing about it. You're not reporting it to the authorities. Like I said, you're not making national waves about this, anything like that. You're not going after the people that you suspect doing this. You're just sitting up here making a rinky-dink 2-minute TikTok video talking about Black people coming on here and this and that or whatever. You tie Black supremacy to white supremacy. So like I'm already really skeptical about anything else you got to say once you tie that together, because you're sitting up here talking about you're going to make an international claim and this and that, and you're not doing anything to the other group. But you're going to go ahead, you're going to make this international claim. You're sitting up here and Black people are doing this, they're doing that all of this stuff you're talking about, and you refuse to post any real proof about it. I'm not even trying to hear what they're saying right there. If you got it, this is the era here of sourcing up. If you got it, then you need to go ahead and show it. And if you don't show it and you're just sitting there talking out your rear end, then you need to go ahead and sit down and shut up too.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me, but I believe that 12 tribes is one of the. It's like almost like a flyer that they show in that video. A couple of those, but the woman said Armageddon, and Armageddon means race war. I think that was the most dangerous thing that she said.
Yeah, towards the end when she signed it off. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Black. As she was leaving, she was talking about her claim and this and that, and you ready for Armageddon or what? Armageddon. Okay, you ready? You're talking about Armageddon and all this other stuff, and yet you're not doing anything to stop people from coming on here and taking your community members, taking the women and taking the children. Like, come on, man. Like this. Like now you're really insulting our intelligence right here. You really are. And you're sitting up here and you're trying to get this thing to the point. Like, what are you trying to do to Black people by saying this kind of stuff? Like, what are you trying to gaslight here? You've never heard of any really major conflicts, definitely of recent times, between Black people and Native Americans. Never. Like I say, Black people have always, for the simple fact that Black people, everybody in this space can sit up here and tell you a story of somebody saying that they got a Native American in their family, so you never, or a Native American blood or whatever. So you've never heard this before. And the fact that she came up with this and they ain't showing any proof or anything like that, you have to kind of take this thing for what it is with a grain of salt. But then you also got to really be worried about this kind of stuff too, because like I say, there've been a lot of negative things in the press and stuff lately when some of these certain groups come out here and they're sitting up here talking about black people are doing this and doing that or whatever, and like I said, a vast majority of black people only go to a reservation to go gamble. You may have some that smoke and go get them a pack of cigarettes or something like that or whatever, but the vast majority of black people, when they go to reservations, they're going to gamble. They're going to these reservations to gamble. Simple as that. Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic. I see you back up here.
Yeah, listen, I just want to make a quick point. Why is it that when it comes to black people, all of a sudden there's the need to have the talk for Armageddon? Where I wanna stick on that point right there, and I'm stuck on that because why is it Armageddon when it comes to black folks? All of these centuries that white folks have been running around doing things to random groups, they never had any smoke. We'll never have any smoke for them. You never hear that type of language when overwhelmingly it has been them who has been doing things to these random groups. But every time a situation arrives where somebody black is involved, all of a sudden these groups start hollering about civil war and Armageddon. Why is it Armageddon for specifically us? They love to hit us up with this per capita, and you all are only 13% of the population talk. But if we're only 13% of the population, that means we don't have the numbers. That means that all of you groups can get together, or all of you groups can individually, ham us if that's the case. But why are you want to Armageddon us? Why aren't you want to Armageddon with anybody else? Why not? Why is it always us? So when Love I Am says, well, it was a Hebrew Israelite group that went up there. Did the Hebrew Israelites pump a little bit of fear? I'm sure y'all got some of the same information that they got. So did they talk that talk to let you know that your time and all of the proxies' time that has colluded against the Negroes' time is just about up, and our kingdom is getting ready to come into play? Is that what you fear? I mean, there's always been a fear of a black planet, but lately it just seems like it doesn't matter what happens. Every little single incident with somebody black blows all the way up, and we can provide you with 10, 20 different incidents where the same thing happened with somebody from another nation, but there's never the same language that's used unless it's us. So pay attention, people. Just pay attention, because people are getting scared, and I don't know why. To me, I feel like a lot of times we look at things on the surface and nobody really wants to look past the surface. A lot of people don't want to take the time to actually hear what it is the Israelites have been saying and their interpretation of things. But the more I'm here, the more I feel like their interpretation is more closer to the truth of why these things are happening than any other explanation that we could sit on this app and come up with. But we don't want to hear that, though, because we've been fed all of the videos with them being out on the corner screaming at people and hollering and doing what they do. But we better start paying attention and looking a little bit deeper. And I believe that the Israelites' perspective is the actual perspective of why these things is happening. And so I'm just going to leave it right there, because we all have our own beliefs. But eventually we all have to wake up a little bit, because these things aren't random. It's not random that all of these other nations, and when I say all of these other nations, I mean all of these nations are coming up against the American Negro specifically. It goes much deeper than just, what we're thinking it does. But a lot of us is saying it is. It goes deeper. So we better start being more willing to listen and stop casting our Israelite brothers to the side. I'm going to land right there.
Thank you, Trouble. Now, Trouble, you would have to admit now that them Israelites, they do be loud on the corner now.
Yeah, they do be loud. Look, they've been so loud. Look, my husband's been studying with them for the last 7 years, and I've been apprehensive. I ain't gonna lie, I have been apprehensive for a long time, because the image in my head was them standing on the corners in New York screaming and hollering at people. And I'm like, what's wrong with these Negroes? You know, but the more he learned, the more he break down and explain to me. And from having to hear it and debate and argue with him about it all of these years, because I've been arguing the point with him all of these years, and I'm finally at a point where I'm like, you know what? What was you saying about so-and-so? Break that down again. And it's starting to really kind of mesh. You know, he done indoctrinated me because I ain't been on this religious tip. But it's really starting to mesh, and I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I'm looking at the interpretations from a different way, and I'm seeing, damn, all of these things are starting to line up. All of these prophecies and things are starting to line up, and it makes more sense to me. I really hate to give him that because I like to debate and argue with the Negro, but I really hate to give him that. But it's really starting to line up. I ain't gonna let him hear me say that, but it is, you know. And so I just implore all of us to try to be a little bit more open and take these things into consideration, that the Most High is moving. It used to be a time when, if you think about it on this level here, where like I felt like if I did something wrong to you, it's going to come back to me in the next year or 2 or 3, might take 10 years. But peep out that karmatic energy lately. That karmatic energy lately, it don't take long for that thing to come right back up on you. I mean, look at the signs. Look at everything that's happening, that's coming into light. It's not by happenstance, you know. And I just get that all up to the Most High moving. And it's moving in our favor. I feel like, and I know y'all may or may not agree, I feel like the curses is dropping off of us, and these curses are now attaching themselves to the rightful owner, these people who've come up against us all this time. And so may they get that work.
All right. Thank you, Trouble. Let me give a shout out to Francesca for her contribution on Cash App as well, too, guys. Like I said, we still need those people. Let's see if we can get a couple people to sign up to the actual create a membership with Newstoter, become a contributor, a monthly contributor for as little as $1.75 a month, guys. We definitely still looking for those. For anybody in the space to go ahead and get that membership. We need some of our normals up in here, our usuals to come up here and get one of the memberships as well, too. I see we got I say Black Pressure up here. Pressure, you ain't spoken a minute, man. I want to hear from you tonight on this situation as well, too. I know you out there in Houston. We got FBA Rita up next. FBA Rita, how you doing tonight?
Hi, brother. How you doing? And hello, everybody in the space. I was listening to what the sister was saying. I mean, I believe, you know, she's on target on. I think it's Sister Trouble. She has. I was just saying this to my daughter. I was having a conversation with my daughter because I'm really into more of the ancient Egyptian consciousness, only because I know that our ancestors were over there when they migrated over here in the USA for maybe like 8,000 years ago. And when you look at the parallel of Egypt now versus the US and look at the Mississippi rivers, both of them are compared. They both are the longest rivers in the world. When you think about all the archaeologists that were digging and finding all these findings from the 1700s all the way up to still currently, they found so many of our ancestors' artifacts here in the USA. They found hieroglyphics. They found papyrus. They found mummies. They found all these different things and artifacts of our ancestors here who are Native Black American. So I believe what they're knowing, they know who we are. They know who we are. They know that we're native to this land. But they know that. And when you go to school, the university, they always say, what is the highest civilized place on planet Earth? They always say ancient Egypt, right? Okay. But this is also our ancient Egypt, too, here in the USA. And I believe that I believe our ancestors, even the people that's in this room, our ancestors are communicating with us some kind of way. We probably all connected some kind of way. I truly believe that they know that we are the descendants of that, and that that's why after slavery we saw those patterns and adventures. When you look at the adventures of the ancient Egyptians, and seeing all the adventures like the cheer, the Fortnite, mason brick building, things like that nature. In the agriculture, how we use our human feces, whatever, to do land and crops. We didn't waste anything. We didn't take anything for granted. We didn't just squat in the street or be on the sidewalk, whatever, and just squat, whatever. We used all even our human waste, whatever, to grow crops, things like that. And we were very clean people. And even over here, when you see some old books about a lot of from some of these Europeans wrote about how clean these natives are here, these so-called black natives, are how clean they are and how they use their feces and all that stuff to grow crops, which they thought was odd, whatever. But when you think about it, yeah, they use cow manure and all other animal manure, whatever, to grow crops. So what I'm saying is the sister is on target about that, but it's in the perspective of ancient Egypt, not the Egyptians that's over there now, because those are just some $5 Egyptians, whatever. Those were African people that was over there, because we're still African descent, but we have our own ethnicity here in the USA. That's what's so unique about us. So I really believe that. And you can go ahead and Google all this, all the findings of all these different artifacts and mummies. I mean, look at the Mississippi River, starting from Memphis all the way to Cairo, Illinois. I mean, you look at Memphis, Egypt, and then you look at Cairo, Egypt, and you see that the river runs the same way through it. And a lot of our ancestors live closer to the river too, because that's how we had that cosmic unity among each other. That's where we had crops and things like that. When you look at all these different highways and airports, they went on ahead and knocked down homes and whatever. Most of our ancestors, artifacts and things were over there. That's why they wanted us out. And even in Chicago, especially in Illinois, our ancestors were over here too. So therefore, it was a big thing. They have a Cairo. If you look at Google about Cairo, Illinois, they started up a race rioting in the 1960s because they wanted that land, whatever. And they already built some housing projects over there. So to get us out, they started up some kind of a racial riot, and therefore they wanted that land. So when they found the most ancient Egyptian, or they called it ancient Egyptian, I will say Black American artifacts, which is how we wrote. And we wrote in hieroglyphic symbolic format. We were very highly educated. When you look at all these old universities all around here, they say, oh, we built Spelman, we built Harvard, whatever. All those buildings were already in there before white man came there. We already had universities and things like that all around the USA. The White House is not that old. The White House is actually was built before the Europeans came over here. We already had built the White House. We also had a Red House too, which they destroyed, had it white because they wanted to have a symbolism of European. But I'm gonna land my plane there. I just wanted to put that out there for you all.
Okay, thank you. FBA Rita, appreciate you tonight. Let me see, DJ, I guess you would go ahead and unmute your mic. Anybody else that wants to speak tonight? We're not going to have a long space, guys. So for those that want to come up here and speak, we're doing a Friday night space. No, we don't often hold Friday night spaces, but I did want to cover this topic tonight. So anybody that wants to go ahead and speak, definitely come on up here, because we ain't going to keep it going too long tonight. It's Friday. I want everybody to go ahead and enjoy their Friday nights. I know some of y'all may be going clubbing tonight, but for those that want to come up and speak, definitely come on up here. DJ, go ahead, unmute your mic.
Yeah, I just want to play a little bit of what this native black sister right here is saying, just about 60 seconds or whatever. Just let's listen to this, what she's saying. Hopefully the volume is good.
It's discriminated against by our own nation because we are black, not because we're Indian, but because we are black, that black blood. We are counted every year for the money that they get for all the government programs. And they vote us out every year of those programs. In 2014, they cut us off our medical because we are black. And they say we have the wrong card. Well, I say, who gave us those cards? is our nation. And they know we belong there. And those cars should be fixed if they need to be fixed. But they cut us off of our medical. We need our chief and all the administration to stop discriminating against their own people. We're here to fight and stand for our nation. We are Seminoles with black blood, and we are proud of it. And they have to accept it for what it is. It's against the Constitution of the United States of America, and it's also against the Constitution of Seminole Nation, and they're breaking their own laws. And we're here today because we're asking the BIA, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, to help us in this cause, to help us come out and stand with us and investigate our nation for the problem that they're having right now with the blackness of our skin and the crook in our hair. We are Seminoles, and we will always be Seminoles. We were born Seminoles, we will die Seminoles, and we stand for Seminole Nation. We're asking the BIA to do their job and investigate Seminole Nation for discrimination.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it is kind of what everybody been saying as well too. Like I say, the black people within these nations, these Indian nations, it seem like their rights are just being trampled upon. I see we got Re-Rock up here. Re-Rock, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, I just wanted to come back up really quick and reiterate. I don't think that the Hebrew Israelites were doing anything wrong on the reservations. Okay, I am 100% sure who they are, and they're pretty nonviolent for the most part. They have sharp tongues, but don't we all, right? And as far as like, it's just like we really have to kind of like come together and see what's happening. I just want to reiterate, like, there's a bigger play going on. Last year, Joe Biden said some dumb shit like you're going to wind up back in chains. And then after that, he said, you guys are going to have to get used to working with the Mexicans, okay? The Mexicans are here, okay? And we're working with them. So what's next? What is the ultimate goal? I'm always trying to get to the bottom of shit real quick, you know? And so what's the goal? What's the goal of all of these people coming together and going against us? What is the common interest? Our labor, our work, our creativity. You know what I mean? What is going on? It's something else happening. People are killing black people, and they're like, "Oh well, he yelled, so it's okay." You know, he yelled at them, so he got shot for yelling. You know, people are getting shot for stealing, murdered for stealing, and no one cares. So it's a bigger play, because not only is every group getting tethering together against us, but they're also killing us and getting away with it. You know, here in America, they're killing us. So I just think that it's a lot more than what we think, and I'm completely with Black. We need to come together. We need to get a state, and we need to live around each other, because I think this summer is going to be crazy, you guys. The racial tension and it's going to be a crazy summer. So y'all keep your head on swivel, and I'll land there.
All right, thank you, Re-Rock. I don't know if I gave a shout out to Jared, but Jared, thank you for your contribution on Cash App. What's up, Pressure?
Stop using my government name, man.
My bad. I didn't know that was you, Pressure. Hey, nobody would know it if you didn't say it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody would know who. Oh, Lord. No, okay, my bad, man. Like, if you didn't come off your mic, nobody would do like, oh, yeah, that's him. That's just like, come on, you told him.
I want everybody to hear you say, I'm doing that. Go off, man.
Oh, man. Okay, you got me on that one.
The first time Newstoter said my real name on the space, I hurried and went on my Cash App and changed the Miss Trigger on the real name part and the rest of the name.
But check this out, son. He always say Black Pressure. I was like, why does he use my government?
My bad. Hey, because normally I can see. I know it's you, so I didn't know this was you right here, Precious. So my bad. Like, hey, everybody that's on the app, if you guys got a cash app, and you know, and I'm sorry if I said you guys names before, but please, let me know. Like if you do send something, message like, hey, this is the profile name, and I promise I only say you guys, I only give a shout out to you guys because I'm thankful for the donations and stuff. So I don't, I definitely don't want to step on any toes. I'm just trying to give you guys a shout out and thanking you guys for supporting the platform because that means a lot. So I'm sorry, guys, just because sometimes people will be like, hey, some people will be like, hey, they'll DM me like, yeah, I donated, but don't say nothing. So I'm like, okay, well, I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm sorry about that. I definitely didn't know.
BJ got my government sales.
And trouble, Miss Trigger, like, because I never knew, like, I wonder who Miss Trigger is. So, let me go ahead. I see my boy Ray up here. Ray, what's up?
What's going on, brother? Hey, man, you can't be using my government name up here neither. I'm just playing. I just wanted to ask you, I know it's a little unrelated, but if you've seen that in Georgia, they're actually building some type of like amusement park or something over Lake Lanier. I just wanted to ask you if you've seen that. I'm just giving Black Pressure a hard time. You know, you my boy.
No, I didn't see that. Ray. I didn't see that. But since I got Ray and I got Pressure up here, I need y'all to speak on the topic tonight too. I hear what y'all got to say about this. I know y'all heard the video, so what's up? What do y'all think about that? Shout out! I see my girl Dana up in the space as well too. So shout out to the real Dana. Y'all check out her YouTube as well too. So shout out to Dana. But Trouble, Pressure, I got you up, and I know Pressure. You said you ain't trying to hear no more babbling or anything like that. But I want to hear what you guys got to say about that.
I'm gonna let my brother Ray go.
I haven't been talking that much because I honestly have not seen the video. I've been listening to you, but I'm running around with the kids trying to get them a shower and stuff and trying to cook. So I didn't hear it, to be honest.
Oh, okay, Ray. So you ain't hear the video. So yeah, when you get a chance, it's up in the Jumbotron. Check it out, listen to it. Tell us what you think as well too. But it's up in the Jumbotron. So yeah. Now, Pressure, I know you heard the video. I know you heard it.
I did. Just real quick, hey DJ, check your DMs. I know he never check his DMs when I send them, so he checks the DMs. But so I did see that. Of course, you already know I'm always gonna play safe every time in the morning. I know some of you probably are upset with me a lot when I come in and speak because I'm always gonna, like I say, be the devil. But so I think news. I've said this before in rooms, like when we've kind of loosely touched on this subject, and I'm still gonna fly my flag. You already know what it is with me. I still don't understand, and this is me. This is not belittling anyone. This is not calling anyone to a debate or anything like that. It's just me personally and the passion that I have for Black people, and that's everyone in this room. I still don't get the infatuation with being Native American, with Black people claiming Native American ancestry. I really am trying to understand it because I'm having conversations with people. This one good thing about social media, you get opened up to a whole, just group of people you otherwise would never know. And I just still, for the life of me, I do not understand the infatuation with being Native American by Black people. And even the Trouble brought them up. The Hebrew Israelites. Hey, disclaimer, I love those brothers, righteous brothers. Even if you disagree or if you don't, it takes a lot of courage to sacrifice all the comforts in life, because I've heard those brothers talk, and those brothers lost jobs, friends, families, get ostracized, all that different stuff. So it takes a lot of courage to go out there and do what they do. So shout out to those brothers. But one of my criticisms of them, I think they get overzealous news, and you brought this up with that 12 charts, because they claim like
Hispanic.
They claim a lot of people, Mexicans, yeah.
For real, Native. Let's air quote Native Americans, okay? And like I say, I'm not the smartest person. I'm nobody's scholar that can stand up and teach. Like I said, I just have a passion for Black people. I think you and I and everybody in this room both know. And I can't put a number on it. It's a lot, though. A lot of Hispanic people, namely Mexicans, are Caucasian by race because they have Spanish ancestry. The Spaniards from Europe, they have that ancestry. And also the Native Americans. I think you said the news. If not, I'm going to say it. Those are Asian people. All those red Native American, and I'm not, and I really don't want to say anything diss somebody just because of their race. But those are Asian people. I don't know if you saw this news. I posted a video about Morgan Freeman, and he was at some kind of conference or in some restaurant telling the host don't call him African. He's not African. All right. So I forgot that guy's name. Little coon dude. I can't think of that guy's name for nothing right now.
You know, I talk about Henry Gates, are you?
Gates.
Okay.
He the same challenge I have. He has more money than I do. You've heard me say, man, if you think you're Native American, and you've heard me say this, I'll pay for your ancestry test. I'll pay for your DNA test. When at any DNA laboratory you want, I'll pay for it. Well, Morgan Freeman did that, and that dude looked at me in his eyes. He said, "Dude, you have 0% Native American, and you are African." And one thing I'll give Morgan Freeman is he humbled down. He was like, "Well, damn, I'm claiming all these Choctaw people in Oklahoma and all this, and I'm African. I got to correct that." But getting to the whole crux of it is we tend to forget as Black people how those Native Americans treated us. All that Cherokee and Choctaw and Creek and all those civilized tribes, what they did to Black people. I'm not going to go into history lesson. Everybody knows what they did. And like I say, knowing that, and we still have this infatuation with claiming that ethnic group is an ethnic group and a race. Because like I say, they're Asian. So either you have to say, I'm going to claim a race of people that made slaves of my ancestors, or you can say, I am that race of people that made slaves of my ancestors. Whichever you choose, it's up to you. And also, too, going back to the, being air quote Aboriginal, I believe that wholeheartedly. That it really with the rise of social media, it's not anything like 30 years ago. You had to go get books and hunt down people that actually were well versed on this topic. Now you can Google it. But there were Black people here well before the trend. I forgot the young lady that spoke about that, but there were Black people who well before the transatlantic slave trade. You can, like I say, Columbus. You can read Balboa, Cordova, and others. They made it clear when their journals and all that. Hey, came over here, New World left, saw these African people. Here, we know there were Black people here well before. But I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to mute up and listen. And I probably said this 100 times. So I'm going to say it again if this topic comes up. If you're Aboriginal, if you claim Aboriginal and you have no ties to the continent of Africa, that's fine. I still pose a question, have never gotten an answer. There's no group of people that exist on the face of the earth that did not have a people group that they descended from. No people group on this earth fell out of a tree. Nobody. So I asked all the people that were Aboriginal and all that, what race is an Aboriginal Black person? Now mute up and listen.
All righty. Thank you, Pressure. That's I'd be interested to hear if anybody if somebody comes up here. Hold on, somebody we see a comment. I gotta read this comment because I think this is addressed to you, Pressure, on YouTube. It says hold on 1 second. It says
I don't know if they want to step in their water,
I gotta read it. Say this dude don't know what the F he talking about. He quoting Lewis Gates. Man, he dumb as F.
So if Lewis Gates did a DNA test and I said, hey, these are the results, I'm dumb. If a doctor comes up to you and say, News, man, look, you got cancer. Man, you dumb, nigga. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, that is something.
You could tell a nigga who was raised in a foster home. Probably never met his parents. You could tell.
Let me go ahead and get to I see Arts up here. Ray, you had your hand up. Did you want to say something? You got it down. You good?
I was just gonna say, just kind of add on to what Black Pressure was saying. I believe a lot of people, especially Black Americans, somewhat have an identity crisis. So that's why they claim, all these different, I'm this, I'm that, et cetera, et cetera. That's all I really wanted to add. I didn't want to interrupt the brother either.
All right. Thanks, Ray. I'm going to say this real quick before I kick it to Art. I think a lot of times Black people knew that you had white mixed up in your blood, and it was a way of trying to get away from it. Now, my grandma, they always in the family said that my grandma had Indian in her. Now, I never heard my grandma say it, but apparently her mother, my great grandma, told everybody that she had Blackfoot Indian. The hair was real long and everything else, because like these women never put perms, anything in their hair, and they had this long hair and stuff like that. Now we know we had a good amount of white in us. We know there's white. I mean, I'm dark skinned, but I know that there's white, in our bloodline. But my grandma, her mother always said that she had Indian in her and stuff like that. But even though they said they had Indian in them, they still consider themselves to be Black women. They still call themselves Black women. It was nothing like, oh well, I'm Black, but we potentially, or we have some Native American in us or Indian or whatever. So that's
give me 10 seconds. Let me say this real quick, just for the record. There is no homogeneous gene in Black people. Every Black person does not have the same physical features. We're all not going to look alike. So when people say, oh, long, silky hair and high cheekbones, as if a Black person can't have those type of genotypes in them. That kills me too. Every Black person has to look alike, and if you don't, you're some other race of people. And I'll mute up and listen.
Okay, real talk. Well, we know but we do know, Precious, certain groups do have.
I got a question. I want to ask Black Pressure. Whoa, because
Twizzler. Hold on real quick, Twizzler. I'm gonna let you ask a question. Let me let Art, and then, and matter of fact, you and Art are the next two speakers, and I'll let you stay up here. I'll let you ask a question. Let me let Art, because he had his hand up first, and then I'll get right back to you, Twizzler. So stay up here and you can ask him the question. But go ahead, Art.
Yeah, I stay with white supremacists.
Hey, Art, you're really low. Are you on a headset?
You can't hear me?
You're low. I can hear you, but you're low.
Yeah, you're just kind of low. Get off your Bluetooth. Matter of fact, Twitter updated again the other day, y'all. Twitter updated, so you might have to check for updates on your phone.
All the space is updated. All the space is updated, so you got to reboot all y'all shit. Go ahead.
You hear me?
I can barely hear you, Art, but go ahead. You're low.
I can hear you, Art. I can hear you real good.
I can hear him, but he's low. But go ahead.
Besides Dr. John Henry Clark saying the whole concept of racist pseudoscience, this is John Henry Clark there. The guy that runs the African Ancestry, he backed a study that says human genetics curb use of the term race in their papers. Rick Kettles said that, another Black man. That's beside the fact that it's commonly known that when you divide the human race into further taxa called race, you're participating in scientific racism, which is a German ideology. So when they say, oh, you're this percentage Native or you're this percentage African, these are called AIMs, or ancestry information markers. And basically, you make up a race, you mix some clusters up, and you say that's this race. And that's all fine and dandy. But then you realize that humans only have a 0.1% variation. No subspecies, because subspecies would have way bigger variations. So what you have when people say they have an identity crisis is humans have a severe identity crisis. They think they're everything but human. That's the irony of it. By the math, by the stats, whether you want to talk about black scientists, geneticists, I can give you anyone, white geneticists, science, but the divide the human race into further taxa called race is literally scientific racism. Another prospect on this situation is a lot of people talk about the Indians. They're talking about 5 tribes. There was over 1,000 tribes in this continent before. So when you say 5, what is the percentage on that again? Okay, let's get into some other.
The 5 civilized tribes are.
Yes, but out of 1,000, what's the percentage? 5 out of 1,000 is what?
A tribe isn't a race.
There's no race, sir. Race doesn't exist. I thought we already had that. So, and like you want to.
How many races were in the guts of the slave ship?
I got a question for you, Dad. Hold on, question for you. Don't even worry about it.
No, because look. Because I want to be very clear. I have these conversations. It's sad when you get to these Afrocentrists and these Eurocentrists. I swear to God, if they didn't mention their race, you wouldn't know who the fuck they were because they say the exact same talk.
The language.
Yes, excuse me. It's part of my language, but they say the same thing. Matter of fact, one time I was talking to an Afrocentrist and I was talking to a Eurocentrist, and I actually mixed up the messages, but it was still on point because they both have this. I'm better than this particular 0.1% of the human race. And then the other side, I'm better than this other 0.1% because they're both 99.9% the same. But, they hate each other. They hate humans, right? Humans hate humans. It is what it is. But the idea that there's some metric that's going to measure, first of all, DNA only measures relation, right? And it goes back 6-7 generations. And that's relations. There's no way. That's why they call it out of Africa theory, Columbian exchange theory, Bering Strait theory. You get it? The reason why they do that is because it can't measure migration. It's literally impossible. Matter of fact, if you don't believe me, you go sign up for Ancestry.com or 23andMe, read their terms of service. But all the people that say take DNA tests, are they reading the terms of service? Would they put some money on it, on the accuracy? And how that process goes is that you spin in a kit that takes 30% of your DNA, okay? Out of that 30%, you measure against a sample size database. That sample size database isn't 8 billion people. Let's start there. So whatever it is, it's not 8 billion, right? And then so 30% onto a small sample size database. Then after you get your stuff run, you still can have contamination and false positives. So you're not going to ever get any of these type of DNA companies to make any promises. And then Henry Louis Gates, I posted a video of him laughing at the concept of thinking that you could find out where you're from spit. Like, he laughed at that. Like, he thought it was funny. So between Henry Louis Gates, Dr. John Henry Clark, and Rick Kettles, there's 3 very intellectual black men that all laugh at this concept. So, you know what I mean? And that's before you get to the white scientists. So if we want to have these real conversations, let's have them. But realize that you're talking about, when you say African, European, Asian, but you're talking about ancestry information markers. You should Google and learn about that before, assuming that's what you are. And I'll end it.
All right, thank you. Let me give a shout out real quick to EHZ. Thank you for your contribution on Cash App. Let me go ahead and get the Twizzle. Twizzle, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Art just hit it. What are the 4 markers of the ancestry DNA to black? I want to ask him that. Could you please explain to me that?
You go ahead, my man. Say it again. I'm sorry.
The 4 markers of the ancestral human DNA. I would like for you to tell me all 4 from the beginning, from the first to the last.
I would only tell you a rudimentary form of them. I would not tell you the answer that you're looking for as far as something specific and concise.
And it's the reason why I asked you that question, though. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give me the answer. Give me your best answer, and I will refer to you.
So you're saying
genetic ethnicities of the human race.
Go ahead and tell me, because I'm lost now. But you said of the human race.
Of the human race.
Go ahead and tell me.
I'm asking you, if you don't know, I will.
Give you the answer.
So all you got to do is just say you don't know.
I wouldn't give you the answer you want.
I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being disrespectful.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are at all. I don't think you are at all.
West Coast, so I give game and I share game and I spit game. You know what I mean?
The West Coast.
This is something that a lot of us don't know because of us being black people. And I say that word black because when you go through history, when you look at Latin, they call us Moorish. And Moorish is black in Latin. And then when you look into Hispanic, you're going to say Negro. Negrito, that's Negro for black. But when you get to the four original ethnicities, the original ethnicities is Ebenoid. And why Ebenoid? Because Ebenoid is the original race of the human. The human, meaning the man from the surface of the earth. And then after that, you have the Rubenoid, the red bone. Then after the Rubenoid, you have the Citroid, the yellow ones, what we call in our race, where I come from the streets, we call them piss colored, high yellow. And the last but not least, you have the albinoid, the albino. What it is to be albino, okay. What it is to be albino, meaning that your pineal gland in your brain didn't fully develop. So therefore, you develop transparent skin, blonde hair, blue or green eyes, and a tail. Those are the four shades of man. Ebenoid, Rubenoid, Citroid, and albinoid. And if you're not an ebenoid, you're not a pure human being because only the ebenoid can create the Rubenoid, Citroid, and albinoid. But the albinoid, Citroid, and Rubenoid cannot create the ebenoid. So therefore, what is the original man? The ebenoid. Because they gave birth to every other race, human culture, and everything out there. So everybody who want to say, oh, black is this, black is that, you're disrespecting the originator.
You know what you see what I said in my comments? See what I said in my comments?
Hold on, Black Pressure. Let him finish real quick.
I'm done with niggas and Bible for 6 months. I told you that. I told you.
This is proof. This is evident. And not only that, if you want to go by the laws of man and what man wrote, I go by the laws of nature, brother. And nature can never be conquered. Nature can never be rewritten. And when you look at a black woman, me and a black woman can make everything out there. Me and a black woman can make a red bone. We can make a brown baby with curly hair. We can make a piss-colored baby, a high yellow baby with straight hair. We can even make an albino with pink skin, blonde hair, and purple eyes. But can any one of them make a pure blood, ebenoid, rich black person? I dropped my mic there.
You know this space is recorded.
Ask me, do I give a fuck? Because I don't.
You sound like it. I can tell.
Okay, everybody, let me go ahead and say with the cursing, y'all chill on the cursing now. But go ahead. Not sure who was next, but yeah, let's chill on the cursing, everybody.
I lost IQ point.
All right. All righty. We're gonna go ahead and get to
If you lost an IQ point, I still would like for you to give your best, your best opinion and your best. Now I gotta send it to you nothing. I send it to you in front of everybody. So I would like for you to explain it in front of everybody. Be fair. Be fair to the people in here.
Dude, nobody takes you serious. You don't read the room.
No, we take you. We asking you, trying to take you serious. That's why I came up.
Rubenoid, his color, purple eyes. News, I'm going to the gym now, y'all.
Asian ass nigga, square ass.
All right, everybody. I just said about the language, so let's not go there with the language, everybody. All right, we got Just Cakes up. Rella, I'm gonna try to bring you up as well too. I'm gonna drop somebody and then we'll bring you up. Anybody?
No disrespect, bro. My bad, bro. No disrespect. I know you doing your thing.
No problem. I just don't want it to. We try that because we get knocked on.
I know you do your thing on YouTube too. So
Yeah, they be knocking us on YouTube and everything else as well too. But no problem. I'm gonna bring Rella up here as well. Just Case, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, what's up, fam? Happy Friday.
Hey, little sister.
Hey, what's up now?
Hey, y'all. I just wanted to get in on the conversation. How is it that we could be indigenous to everywhere but America? Like, for example, the guys at North Sentinel Island. What African country did they come from? When it comes down to it, pretty much everybody is from Africa if they not some super other people. So why is it such a stretch for Black people to be Aboriginal to the Americas? Like, I just don't get that. Anywhere you go, most of the Aboriginal people are dark-skinned people. It's just, I feel like it's kind of narrow-minded or short-sighted, or if the white man didn't say it, then it didn't happen. I'm going to be honest. My grandmother, my great-grandmother, they said the same thing, that we do have Indian in our family. And it wasn't just red Indian. Am I saying that as like a badge of honor? No. At the end of the day, am I a Black woman? Yes, I am. All day, every day. But it doesn't take away from what my grandmother told me. Do I identify as an Indian? No. But I do believe that Black people are indigenous to most places in the world, not just the Americas, not just Africa, not just to North Sentinel Island, not just to Australia or wherever. The original Black person on most of these lands are dark-skinned, pigmented Black people. So we just have to expand our thought process and not be condescending when you don't agree with something somebody's saying. And I'll let it there. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate what you're saying. And the reason I was gonna say that it seems like they only want to, Black people are indigenous to the planet, but you'll never hear that. They want to say that Black people only were in one place, one particular place, Africa and stuff like that. So it goes against the narrative. You know, if Black people are indigenous to this whole planet, you know, that's a big issue for a lot of these people, and that's why they rewrite history the way they do as well too. So, but shout out to you, Just Cakes. I know you got the little one as well too, so you got to get in where you can fit in. So I ain't mad at you. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get to Rella, and then I'm gonna get to Rerod, and then I'll get back to Pressure and Twizzle.
Hey, Newstoter. Hey, TJ.
What's up?
Hey, everybody. I see y'all.
Hey.
Hey. I see y'all back arguing with each other.
Nobody here arguing. It's each one teach one, steel sharpens steel.
They're having strong debates. Let me put it that way. I think I had a conversation. I had brought Friday into the room, and we had the same, point of view that you give people room and you allow them to explore their own genealogy. I don't truly look at, I think, Henry Louis Gates in regards to some of the things that he's done, because I do believe there are other genealogists who are heavy on the ground in different states, like Dr. Antoinette Harrell. There's one here. There's actually several here in Virginia. And I think there are a lot of them, and they are descendants themselves who are doing a lot of genealogy work. And they tell you to actually go by paperwork first. They don't tell you to do blood work first in regard to mapping yourself and your cultural part of your lineage. What I've heard on stage in the arguments are people trying to, I guess, present the DNA side. I think Art's submission was a bit more detailed in regards to if we had to take it all the way back even to Pangea and all of those things. I even always talked about how you need to look at the Human Genome Project that Yale and Harvard did. But remember, we weren't present in any of the findings. So when we start to talk about studying information, we can't just land on the things that we find when it comes to maybe the biology piece of it, but the cultural piece of it. The cultural piece of it, I think, is where people are really arguing. My father, and my grandmother on my father's side passed down information to him saying that, hey, down in Texas, there were the Cherokee, and that was part of our family. It was never that they took the time out to actually search those things, because they still saw themselves, they see themselves as Black Americans. It wasn't, they didn't have the energy to do the work that we're doing now. There was other things going on. And then on my mom's side, my grandfather, who passed away, his father was actually Seminole, and they were fighting to actually be recognized, and that had been going on. So if you talk about, even if you mention the 5 civilized tribes like people mentioned, there were other tribes that people had genealogy with. It wasn't just the 5 civilized tribes. There were tribes in New York, and that's not a race thing. That is a cultural practice of Native people saying, hey, we mixed with slaves here, or there weren't slaves here. I mean, there's been so many different arguments. And so I think we do ourselves a disservice when we're trying to prove information that we don't have readily in front of us. And we're trying to somehow, I think, point out each other's, you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong, you're right. But you can't quantify anything because you really have not deep dived into your individual story. I'm talking about someone else. So like, someone can't tell me what my family story is, except for me and my family, who is going to do the work, and a genealogist who is going to walk with me to do the work. Culturally, where I'm from, the things that I've been through, my story is an addition to the Black experience here in America. Whatever that looks like, whatever amalgamation that may look like, that's not a denying of having a country, African ancestry from a country somewhere, a slave ancestor that might have it. That's not saying that a slave ancestor that was enslaved by the Indians, there's no connection there either. It's saying that we have an identity issue that we're trying to solve, and we're arguing about it among each other as if we all have a stake in solving our issues with our family. And if you do, if you care about somebody solving their family genealogy, you would walk with that person. It wouldn't be an argument about, well, the red, the yellow, the this, because again, you can only argue about evidence that has been proven, that has been founded. And if you are not writing any books, you haven't sat with anybody to write a book, you haven't done the research and whole, the only thing you've done is pull information either offline or out of the books or the Library of Congress, again, you would have to present it. And that's where I feel like we should be standing as far as our responsibility to reparations, our responsibility to the work of our experience here, and to the legacy of our families, because they didn't get a chance to do this. They didn't get a chance to really pull it all together because of so many things that were hitting them left and right, especially if you were from Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, and you had migrated west. It's work that they did not get a chance to do.
Real quick, Rel, I want to ask you, what's your thoughts about the actual title of the room too, as well?
Native American says Black Aboriginals are attacking them. So I've been seeing a lot of that argument even on TikTok. And to be honest with you, some of the people, when I say the people who have the paler skin of Native Americans that are on TikTok, and apparently they don't like the term Native Americans, which that's even new to me in this day and age. But a lot of the younger ones, they are reading and wanting to uncover information. And a lot of the older ones are trying, just like we have gatekeepers, a lot of the older ones are trying to keep the gate closed because they don't want to be exposed for their contributions to slavery here in the United States and wherever else. And so what's really going to trick people up is that when you find out Africans also were considered natives in a way, and the language changes throughout books when you start reading them. So that's really what's going to trip you out when you really, really start to do your deep dives. But again, I don't really have to call people out their names and get upset with them or nothing like that. I just think, I do believe and think that in a space where people wanted to tell us what our identity is, we get to say what it is in real time as we are walking and taking the opportunity to take the steps to identify ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't have an argument with people who have African ancestry. I don't have an argument of people who have Native ancestry. I just look at, okay, well, what are the facts? What have you found? And if you found something that is pertaining to you and your family, then I applaud you, because a lot of people have not gotten that far. So, and a lot of our ancestors died before they could really tell you how they would like to have been identified or what they maybe didn't know or wanted to know. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Rella. Let me go. I'm gonna get the rerod and then I'm gonna get back to you, Twizzer, and you, Pressure, as well too. So go ahead, rerod. You got it.
Hey, thank you again for allowing me to speak the third time tonight. I don't think that it's an obsession with being something than we are. Yeah, we may have Native, what they call us an amalgamation of people, right? Black Americans. We're an amalgamation. No, I don't think that. I think I'm blackity black. I don't write down Native on anything. It's just oral history that's been passed down. And because our history has been hidden so much from us, because they actually burn libraries and churches and cities and all that stuff of ours down, yes, we are looking, and we're looking for the truth. Unfortunately, we're the only people looking for the truth. Seems like everybody else is getting away with lying, while we're steady here looking for the truth. Looking for the truth. Do any of us know what that looks like? No. Like, our history has been hidden from us, seriously. Even going back to Africa, they burnt down so many things. They took books and they did this on purpose to confuse us, right? And so, as far as white scholars, I'm just not going there. I'm not. I don't think white scholars have taken time out to consider anybody else but themselves. So I only deal with black scholars, only deal with black authors, and I think that's a big thing too right now with these white people, because they can't just come into our spaces and be like, hey, this is this. And we're like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, we're like, no, we're pushing back on all that, and yeah, like, how did we have a 1,000,000-year start, but we only ended up in Africa? Okay. People in Australia, they're gone. Okay? The Aboriginal people in all of these other nations are gone. We are the only ones still here. That's why there's this big thing to eradicate us, figure out what to do with us, because we're the last Aboriginals left. If you ask me, that's what I think. Otherwise, why? Why are you trying to kill off 13% of a population? Why are you trying to demonize 13% people? It just doesn't make any sense. But no, I don't have any, I just love this. I just want to be something other than Black Americans. There's no obsession. It just is what it is. And since they lied so much, I have to take accountability, my oral history, the things that have been passed down from generation from generation. We all got the Bible. We all have the Bibles with our names and all of that. We all have those things. So I'm not going to sit here and say my great grandmothers were lying because the white man said it's not so, right? So if you believe in a white scholar and you believe everything that they say, then yeah, it's always going to take you back to the out of Africa. It's always going to take you back to that. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go if you're not thinking for yourself. You're always going to go back to the out of Africa theory because that's what white people said. Black people didn't do shit. They didn't stuff. They didn't create anything. They didn't create both. They couldn't do anything. If it wasn't for us, they would be in shambles. Africa's still in shambles. It's still in shambles. What did they go over there and fix? They didn't come over here and fix anything either. So I'm just trying to figure it out. Like why people are so convinced that back in the day, Black people and Indian people didn't have sex, right? It's sex, right? People have sex all across the globe, but for some reason, the natives and the Aboriginal Black Americans did not have sex. They just hate each other. Oh, come on. I'll land there.
All right. Thank you, Rerod. Thank you. Twizzle, you had your hand up. Did you want to, you got it down, or did you want to speak again? Are you good?
Y'all, can you hear me? I'm outside right now. I was in here talking to my peoples. What you say now?
No, I said you had your hand up earlier. Did you want to speak again, or you put it down? Are you good?
I kind of lost my train of thought unless Black Power wants to say something. You know what I mean? Because I was mainly about him on this Black ethnicity shit. You know what I mean? We are the original Black people of this planet. That's where human come from, because the you is the surface of the earth, and that's what we are, because the surface of the earth look just like us. So that's where I came in here, because I'm the original human being, and that's where I came to stand on. You know what I'm saying? We got 4 shades and 4 ethnicities of human beings. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my big homeboy want to say something. I'm gonna let my big homeboy Grady say something. Go ahead, Grady.
Look, I only want to share one thing. When everybody start kicking the narrative, human being. Now I want you to go to Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, BALLENTINE, Ballantyne. This is the dictionary that they used in the Congress, okay? That's representing us. A human being is a monster that can't comprehend anything. He's owned by people. We're people, we're not human beings. And as long as you're contracting as a human being, you're in color law, and you're owned by the Christian Black Codes of 1724. Look it up.
Simple as that.
All right. Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get the Black Pressure. Pressure, go ahead and unmute your mic.
News can I throw up? But anyway, look, it's amazing to me how people hear what they want to hear, right? The first thing that I said when it came to Black people is we were already in the Western Hemisphere before white people got here. That's the first thing I said. It's amazing the presuppositions people come with, and then people putting words in my mouth, right? So that's the first thing I said. Black people were already here, period. We were here before anybody else. Did everybody get that? Now moving on. And I'll shout out to the dude, I think his name is Art. Hold on, let me get this right.
Yeah, Art was up here earlier.
Okay, yeah. I haven't read them yet, but I'm going to read all the material you sent. But I appreciate it. I am going to read. But number one, when it comes to DNA, right? In news, we've talked about this before, right? When the Innocence Project uses DNA to free a Black person that is served decades in jail for committing a crime, when they open that cell, you know what that Black person ought to say? Man, this is an imperfect science. This shit ain't right. I don't believe what white people say. He should go back in the cell for the rest of his life and die, right? Because DNA is an incomplete science. You know what else is an incomplete science? Cancer treatment. Some people get cancer treatment and they live. Some people get cancer treatment and they die. You know what we should do? Throw the whole shit away, because it don't cure everybody, right? Childbirth. That is an incomplete science. There are children, sometimes when they pass through their mother's birth canal, because of the process, they're born, dead, they're born with permanent injuries, or they're born with injuries that are over time that'll take time to heal. Since childbirth is an incomplete sign, throw it in the trash. We ought to come up with something new, right? Come on, man. Stop with the Black's Law Dictionary, Sarnetta, the Morshine's Temple bullshit. Look,
Language, y'all.
You're right. You know what news, and I never do that. See? Yeah, I'm sorry. I never ever do that. My bad. Just stop with it, man. Nobody believes that. It's laughable. It's all that Black's Law Dictionary is. You might as well be the old boy from In Living Color talking like that, because that's what you sound like. Just because you don't want to believe like I do, I don't have any knocks against you, but Africans and Native Americans had sex. Really? Really? That was your rebuttal to me, that they had sex and voila, this is us.
Rerod said that, actually. Rerod said that.
That's okay.
Yeah,
like I said, I'm not dissing the sister.
No, I meant it.
I didn't say you did. I didn't say you did.
Didn't have sex?
I didn't say they didn't. I did what now? This because of Africans and these native people that you say are us. What ethnic group did that create? Is that us?
Black Americans did.
That's okay. But I'll move on. And going back to DNA, right? Look, a grizzly bear and a German shepherd, you'd be surprised to see they have ancestors. You go back to have the same common ancestors. Is a grizzly bear and a German shepherd the same animal? No, it's not.
I could debunk that. I could debunk that.
Hey, real quick, everybody.
It's cool. I'm with that because I did it to him, so that's okay. The brother did exactly what I did to him, so that's cool. But what I'm saying is, like I said, a German shepherd and a grizzly bear have the same common ancestor, but they're not the same animal, right? The same thing. I think Art said something about.
But they also can't have sex. The grizzly bear,
just like a seal.
They can't have sex.
Like a seal. Yeah, just like
Did I say they can have sex? I said they have the same common ancestor and they're not the same animal. That's all I said.
Compatibility, though. Compatibility.
I didn't say any. Say that word. That never.
You're comparing them.
I'm comparing them because they have the same common ancestor.
Compatibility.
Okay, all I said was they have the same common ancestor. That's all I said.
Real quick, because y'all, it's hard to hear both of y'all speaking at one time. Twizzle, let Black Pressure respond, and then I'll give you a minute to go ahead and come back with something. Then we're gonna get to the other speakers because we got Rivera's a new speaker, and I want to give him a chance to speak as well too. So, Pressure, go ahead, and then we'll let Twizzle respond, and then we're gonna kick it to Rivera as well and Art. I know it's a double mute, so it should be coming back. You got it, Black Pressure.
If you don't want to go, I will.
I got it. I'm sorry, News. And this nonsense that the Germans invented race. Look, before Germany was a word in the human lexicon, before it was called Germania, even when it was called Secunda, way back when the area had different names, race has been debated since human beings existed. Since human beings came, the Greeks and the Romans said, hey, what race are these North African people? They didn't use race because race is more of a newer word in the lexicon. It's more English word. The bloodline, a house, whatever other words that those words in antiquity they use for the word we use race right now, that's been debated 5,000 years. The hair color, the skin color, the build of the physique. You know, why they don't get this and we get this, and why they react like this and we react. This is old. The Germans did not invent that. That was debated before there were Germany. That area we call Germany was inhabited. And I'm mute up in this.
Well, then why did they hide it so we can read it for ourselves? Why did they burn it? Why did they burn it so we can read it for ourselves?
Newstoter, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead, Twizzle. Go ahead real quick.
Just to sum all this up, Black Pig, you ever heard about the burning of the books? about all of that? See, the whole thing is.
Bro, that's religion.
Hey, Pressure, let him go ahead and finish.
I'll let you talk. I'll let you go. It's not religion. It's fact. It's right. Now, whatever you want to put it, wherever category you want to label as it, that's you. But when you look at fact, the fact is this, bro. As us being the original black people, we've been on this planet millions of years. And I'm going to say this, and I don't care who disagree or agree. Can I go? Can I go? Now, I'm going to give this. I'm going to give credit when credit is due. Africa is the only continent that's rooted to the core of the earth. And that's why they call Africa the cradle of life, because life comes out of that. But through the millions of years this planet been here, life has spun around. That's what come throughout my teachings, the teachings I was taught. If you want to know the path of human, the only thing you have to do is look at your skull. Because if you look at your skull on the right-hand side, your skull spin counterclockwise. And that was the migration of humans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get to the point where I want to make. One thing for sure and two things for certain. We humans, black people, been the original people of this planet since the beginning. And throughout times, we created so many cultures, races, and ethnicities. We didn't forgot about some. We're just only reflecting on the ones that's been written throughout the times of the Greek and the Romans, throughout the other historians who was around at the time. But through my teachings, through my knowledge, and throughout my education, and throughout the research I involved and found, as us being the original people of this planet, we go back millions of years. And I know that's true when you find pyramids 100 feet under the water in Japan. You found pyramids in the middle of the Pacific Ocean where they hasn't been landed so many years. And not only that, when you got Africa, the fucking Sahara Desert used to be a fucking Congo.
Everybody, I keep saying language. Don't drop any F-bombs, and we recording this with the language. I keep saying that. I said it about 10 times a night.
Try to forgive me, man. I'm up and I'm stuck. Forgive me. But I just want to, I'm going to land my plane on this point right here. As us the original people on this planet, we need to get rid of time. We need to get rid of geography. And we need to get rid of ethnicity. For the simple fact, our skin color gives us our identity, it gives us our proof, and it gives us our fucking solidification. Me and every black woman in here, we can make every race out there, but every race out there can't make us. So that's our proof right there, and that's our evidence right there. That's the original human beings right there. And if you don't believe me, Newstoter, you know, and as I know, whenever them others want to get certification, they come to us. Then they ask us, present it to us, and show it before us to see if we accept it or not. And if we accept it, then that's when they get their certification on that it's cool and it's good. Because they got to get their certification from their parents before they get it from their siblings or their peers. You know what I mean? We black people are the original people of this planet. And if you don't believe me, check your skin tone. And I land there. I fuck with everybody in here.
Language.
I'm sorry. I mess with everybody in here. It's not about who's right or who's wrong. We're just sharing thought and we're expressing our opinions, you know? As I say, each one teach one. And to the ones who can agree, we can grow. The ones who disagree, sit back and learn. And I land my plane right there. Newstoter, forgive me, my brother. You know me. I go hard in the paint. I'm all gas, no brakes. You know what I mean? I talk like a man and I'm a field man. My apologies, bro.
All right, appreciate it. Let me go ahead and get to Rivera, and I'm gonna get to you again, Art, as well. So go ahead, Rivera. How you doing?
Okay. Man, somebody mentioned something. I can't remember. There's a lot going on. Y'all are going back and forth. The Native American thing. I posted something in Jumbotron. That's my buddy's Indian Nation card. Oh, what? The thing about the Native American chick, feeling like they
are threatened for whatever reason. In the state of Oklahoma, we got obviously a lot of Native Americans via the Trail of Tears. In recent years, if you look at that Indian Nation card, Cherokee Nation, the whole Native American ain't called Indian, they'd rather be called Native or Indigenous, right? I know that's going, whoa, Indigenous, hold on, we Indigenous, right? They feel threatened because that card. That guy in that card is, I mean, look at the pictures, black, really black. I'm light skinned. He ain't got straight hair, curly hair, like y'all saying. You got white, you got nigga hair. I mean, nigga hair. Okay, so, sorry, next cuss word. Can you do that one? Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of those cards out now. The whole land back thing it's graffiti everywhere about land back. There's people talking about land back all over social media. The natives here in Oklahoma, all throughout Oklahoma, land back. We want our land back. It used to be that you would see blacks and natives kind of peppered here and there in Muskogee, Oklahoma. There's some other towns. I don't know where exactly the reservations are, but you would see black folk kind of scattered here and there. And they went by freedom. And then I think it was 2015, the Cherokee Nation no longer saw that freedom was part of the Cherokee Nation. And then just recently, they brought it back. This was a big hoopla about the Cherokee Nation, racism. You got white people in the Cherokee Nation. You got white people as chiefs in the Cherokee Nation. One of the things I remember when I worked at one of the casinos, the Indian casinos here in Oklahoma, a wall for the council members and all that other stuff. I remember seeing all these motherfuckers, mother suckers on the wall, and they all look like white people, wearing suits. They didn't have, the headdress or anything, but they just looked like white folk. And I thought that was really interesting. So for them, the threat is there's an uptick of other races exclusively because of the McGirt ruling in 2020, I believe, here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which made all of Tulsa, Oklahoma Cherokee Nation. It's either Cherokee Nation or Muskogee Creek Nation. And it makes it hard for a lot of things. Land ownership for certain people. It also makes Tulsa police can't mess with you if you're native. That's why a lot of people are trying to get their card, right? So now you have to get me federal. You can't mess with me because only the light horse can arrest me. Only the light horse can pull me over. If my tag says Cherokee Nation, Creek Nation, Pawnee, whatever, you can't mess with me because I'm a part of whatever reservation. So you see a lot of that. You're seeing a lot of that because of specifically, I in my mind, that because a lot of the news here, when people get arrested, they say, we've arrested this person, XYZ, white person, black person, right? But they can't do anything. TPD can't do anything. They had to let them go because they're native. And it's a full-on black person. Or it's a full-on white folk, right? So that's why they don't want to be called Native American. They want to be called indigenous, native. So it makes it seem like the Mongoloid is the only one. Having a discussion with these people about black folk being indigenous at this time, you're going to be met with, and I know you don't care, but as far as, them accepting black folk, it's not as prominent as it was, I'd say, in the 80s and 90s. It's not as, okay, well, you go to the powwow, it's like 10 black people. Now it's like flooding with black folk. Now they kind of looking like, oh, y'all are what you call us. But, when we look back, it's damn, I'm in the dog's room. So, I don't know, man. I think going on into the future, we're going to see a lot. And I just found out there are, like the sister said, Native American, exclusively black Native Americans in New York, specifically upstate New York. The guy in that picture, he's dead. He's from Connecticut. It's a Potawatomi or whatever, Native Americans.
can't remember what the name of that tribe is, but it's like all black folks. So yeah, that's why they feel threatened. That's why they don't want to be called Native Americans. They be called natives and indigenous. There you go.
All right, thank you. Let me go ahead and get to Art. Art, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah. When you break up human race into further taxa called race, that is scientific racism. So he saying, I guess Black saying that Joanne Blumenbach didn't make that. So you're trying to say that some melanated person made racism, or? Because I was confused on that. Like, are you saying that melanated people came up with racism?
News, tell me one time racism came out my lips.
Okay, so let me repeat what I'm saying, sir. Scientific racism is whenever you take the human race and try to divide it and further taxa called race.
You believe that? You believe that? I don't believe that.
That is the definition of the language we're using, sir. You want me to speak Spanish?
That's what I'm gonna say it again. That's what you believe, not me.
Okay. So when I look up scientific racism, and I posted the dissertation, I on your thing for you. Okay, so
I'm gonna read. Thank you, and I am gonna read it.
Okay, so in one breath you say that you want to do this DNA. You do know Europeans came up with DNA too, right? I'm just saying, like, in one breath you only want to selectively listen to Europeans about their.
When did I, bro, boss man? When did I say
DNA was made by Europeans? You want the name of the person?
DNA exists in the human body. What do you mean it was made up by them?
I'm saying that they came up with the concept, right? So.
Guess what? Somebody came up with the concept of an apple tree. Somebody said, "Hey, that's an apple tree." You gonna throw that in the garbage?
Hey, Pressure, real quick, let him go ahead and get his point. Everybody, stay on your microphone and let him go ahead and finish his point so we can get it around, move it around.
Yeah, it's just weird to me the selectivity of when you can and when you can't use your.
That's cool. Like I say, you believe what you do, but I am gonna read your stuff. I appreciate it, brother.
It's not my stuff. It's the people who made this stuff. Like, I'm citing the people, like geneticists.
No, I'm just saying I'm interested. I'm gonna read it. I really am gonna read it.
Yeah. So, like, my concern is that I have these same conversations with white supremacists.
I'm not.
And I can add you.
Wait. Hold on real quick, Art. Because nothing the brother said is anything, in terms of being a white supremacist now.
Thank you, News. Now, News, you know me. You know better than that.
Hold on. They believe in race, Newstoter. And when you tell them race is real.
Well, Art. We can say race is not real or whatever, but in the country we live in, race is real.
Do you want me to read what our government says? Because I just posted
it. Dude, I don't care about what the white folks say. Stop that. I don't care.
Newstoter just mentioned the government. I didn't say.
Wait.
I said based in the country we live in, the country we live in is definitely predicated on race.
And then I just corrected him and said that based on them, they even admit on themselves, including census.gov, read it yourself, that race is not a genetic or biological thing. Like the .gov, like I can put the .gov up there for you.
Well, yeah, Art, we know that race is not genetic. We know that it's a construct like anything else.
He's talking DNA, Newstoter. That's what I'm trying to. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, News, can DNA tell the difference between ethnic groups and races? Like if I find a body of an Asian person or a body of an African person, is DNA going to say, "Oh man, that's just a human being. Y'all have a good day"?
Yeah, it's going to tell. It's going to tell the difference.
Can I cut in for a second, Newstoter? No, there's no race gene. If you
Hold on, FBAD. I'm gonna get to you. Hold on. Art, go ahead. And matter of fact, hold on. Matter of fact, let's let Art go ahead and land his plane. Everybody, Pressure, me included. Let's let him go ahead because we got some other people up here as well, and everybody can respond. But let's let him go ahead and land his plane. Go ahead, Art. It might be a double mute, but go ahead when you get a chance.
Yeah, many pseudoscience. I want to call them pseudoscientists. have been trying to prove race. In the event that somebody in this room thinks they can biologically, genetically, whatever, prove race, then you're hop skipping away from a Nobel Peace Prize. So let's get that money. I would love to hit me up in the DMs. Let's get this money. I'll land it right there.
Hey, Newstoter, can we get back to the topic at hand about this Native American?
Yeah. Let's let me go ahead and we'll definitely try to get back on topic as well too. Because I know we kind of have lost. We kind of have lost some.
I put up a post earlier tonight showing improvement. You know, their problem is not Black Americans. Their problems are men. They have one of the biggest fentanyl. They have one of the biggest drug issues in America going on those reservations. I'm from North Carolina. I'm like 45 minutes from Lumbee Nation, Halawasaponi, and all of them. They are having some of the biggest fentanyl crises going on in America right there concentrated in the reservations. So I want us to stay on topic because this is important. This is why delineation is important. All right? Blaming what's going wrong with them on us. No, we got to fix that. We got to come with facts. And I'll show improved facts.
All right, appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to FBA Trey as well. FBA Trey, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, what's good? What's good? It's a topic. I heard somebody talking about. We were discussing the evidence.
Hey, FBA Trey, you got a headset on?
No, I'm in the car right now. Hold on, let me take my Bluetooth off for a second.
Yeah, because you pretty, I can hear you, but you're kind of low. We're trying to get it so our people on YouTube can hear as well, too. So we streaming this. So we want to be able to have people.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you much better.
Okay. All right. So I was told earlier that the topic was speaking about the evidence that there were Black people here in America. Is something I do?
No. The topic was actually, we were talking about the Native Americans claiming that Black Aboriginals are going to going to the reservation and attacking them and kidnapping their women and children. And we kind of veered off onto that topic there, but that was the actual topic of the space.
Oh, they're saying Black people or Black Aboriginals are going around too.
Well, they're saying Black Aboriginals. I mean, well, they say Black Aboriginals, which would be Black people.
Oh, yeah, that's new to me. I know that there's some contention between the two groups from some oral traditions or whatever. But is there a news article or something?
No, you had a woman. It's up in the jumbotron on the far right hand side. You had a woman that's supposed to be Native American, and this was what she was saying. This is she had a TikTok video, and she made this claim that Black people were coming out here, Aboriginals, as she's called them, and were coming out here and doing this and doing that. So,
if that's the case, I strongly disapprove of that. But as far as advocating for our people being here, yeah, I definitely believe our people were here before Columbus. If that's what she was, trying to negate or whatever.
No, she wasn't talking about that, bro. Like I say, everybody else, we kind of dug into that, but no, that's what she was just saying. That basically is criminality coming out there, Black people doing things to the Native Americans, and we kind of got into that discussion a little bit later on. But no, that's just what she was talking about. So
yeah, well, there's a history of contention between the two groups going back to slavery because they were the main slave catchers from runaways. But as far as today, in the context of this attack, this is new to me. So I'm gonna look more into it. But somebody else can go ahead and speak.
Okay, we appreciate that, brother. Thank you, guys. Like I say, up in the jumbotron, we didn't got the jumbotron flooded, but we do have the membership up there. We're trying to get people to sign up and become monthly contributors to the actual Newstoter platform. The link is up in the actual jumbotron somewhere up there. Let me go ahead and get to Rella. Then we're probably going to get ready to get the DJ, and we'll probably close it out for the night. You can support us on Cash App too, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Rella, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you, Newstoter. So again, I didn't hear Black Pressure argue against race, and I keep again going back to the mere fact of every time I think we're having a discussion in regards to what's happening with how Native Americans are classifying themselves or wanting to see themselves, identifying themselves. It's the same identity politics that whites are having right now. And I know you don't like the term white, but I mean the umbrella group of people who identify as white, whether they're Irish, Italian, like Latinos, Spaniards, Portuguese. All I'm saying, there is the identity. They're trying to find themselves, and they've been the ones who've been in control of the narrative. The studies around Homo sapiens, around genetics, genomes, we need to move into those sciences, into that area, so that way we can also start to make sure that we protect the finding of information, the uncovering of information, and the discovery of information. That's separate from the conversation, I think, of what's in the Jumbotron. I shouldn't say it's separate like it's different.
It's separate. It's separate. But go ahead.
But it's what I'm saying. It's parallel. It's separate from the conversation you're bringing about, because it's sparking other conversations that happen in the room, and then they're going off into like they're arguing. Anyway, all I'm saying is that we need to move into those sciences. I agree with Rewrite in regards to, as far as Black scientists, listening to Black scientists. The problem is that the scientists who've written a lot of the material and the information for you to actually start to explore, they're not all going to be Black right now. And so you're going to have to utilize some of that information to actually find that rabbit hole that you want to go down into. And I say that as an example of watching archaeologists literally discover how intelligent ants are and how intelligently they are in tune with the planet. They have done the same thing with us. They have done the same thing with us. That's the reason why you can have a video on C-SPAN called How to Sell to the Negro. It's one of those splinter things where we're having the conversation of watching people literally try to tell us who we are. And we have to be willing to say, no, we're taking the narrative of who we are based on the nuggets that you have passed down from your families. Talk to your families. Find out from the elders that are still alive, maybe some writings, look in Bibles, look everywhere that you can, and start to go down the rabbit hole and connect dots. You cannot argue genealogical evidence on a space about yourself. But in reference to the topic, like I said, the natives who look totally different, and they do look like Mongoloids, and Mongoloids were the Asiatic from Africa. I'm just going to put it out there that, again, they are from a species of people called Descendants. I'm not going to go into too much because I don't want nobody to get mad. I'm just saying, when you start to go down the rabbit hole, these people want to keep the gate closed. They don't want you to identify yourselves. They don't want you to identify the fact that they aren't even who they are calling themselves. And I'll just land it there.
All right.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Rella.
Are you sure? Because I feel like I should.
No. You know what me and you go head to head. We know what it is. I'm saying,
right, and it's all love, and I really want us to stay there. I want us to, and I'm not saying we gotta love each other. I'm saying I really want us to, like FBA. What's his name that just came up here? FBA, Riley King. I want us to stay in the space where our switchblade is not for each other. Our switchblade is for the ones who have stolen our names. They've erased what we really, really want to say
that we want to pull out of our DNA and have the discussion out of our blood, that we really want to just shout it from the rooftops, but we don't have the words right now. Those are who the switchblade is for. Your iron should always be that you are sharpening one another. That is my last living evidence to you tonight.
Hey,
Great job.
Let me say this to you, Gorilla, real quick. I agree. I agree with everything you say, but you did touch on this, and I just want to say this. When we're debating race and ethnic groups and origin and all that stuff, we as human beings, because of time, because of wars, conquering, slavery, relining the areas, and white people having the resources to get their hands on information before black people can. We really haven't even scratched the surface on the origin of human beings. And I'll mute up and listen.
All right. Thank you, Pressure. We're going to go ahead and get to DJ. We're going to close this out because I'm going to watch the replay of BMF tonight. So, DJ, you got it.
Wait, Newstoter, DJ, before you go, can I say one more thing?
Like 20 seconds, love.
Okay, real fast. If someone is watching Love is Blind, let me know because I want to binge and have a conversation. Okay, that's all I have to say.
All right. I never even heard of Love is Blind, but okay. DJ, you got it.
The Blackfeet Reservation in northern Montana is beautiful.
Wait. How long is this here? All right.
And FBA Don was up there. I don't know if he wanted to speak, but I guess he dropped out.
No, we finna get ready. Go ahead and play that. We closing it out.
The Blackfeet Reservation in northern Montana is beautiful and vast. It is also drowning in fentanyl.
The drug problem on our reservation, it's so serious that it's pretty much wiping out a generation. I'll do anything to help.
Marvin Weatherwax Jr. is a leader here. As in many Native communities, addiction has long been a problem. But 2 years ago, after 17 fentanyl overdoses and 4 deaths in just 1 week, the tribe declared a state of emergency.
Would it be fair to say that you're in a perpetual state of emergency right now?
Yes, we are. It's as if fentanyl is raining on our reservation.
Federal law enforcement officials tell NBC News one of the most dangerous of the Mexican drug cartels, Sinaloa, once run by the notorious El Chapo, now by his sons, is targeting Blackfeet and the state's 6 other reservations with a steady flow of drugs, including fentanyl.
What brought you up here?
This man, a member of the Sinaloa cartel, was pulled over for a traffic stop on a Montana reservation.
Are you from around here? Or you got a passport? Mexico, yeah.
Ultimately, he and 2 other cartel members were successfully prosecuted in one of the largest drug busts in the state's history, including over 700,000 fentanyl pills seized, according to Montana's U.S. attorney.
That's it. Good night, y'all.
All right. We'll see you guys on Monday. Y'all be safe and have a good weekend. Peace.
And yeah, that was shout out to FBA Don for that right there. There you go. Peace.